uniforms. You might indicate that as you look at their sleeves. They've gone back to those old jerseys that Woody Hayes used to have.
That's right. Won a lot of games for Woody Hayes, over 200.
And so Amaro waiting for the start of this. He is the guy replacing Matt Franz, who did all the place kicking a year ago. He did kick off last year for the Buckeyes. And you wonder right now, Dick Vermeil, what's going through the mind of John Cooper.
Well, you know, he was awfully relaxed. You know, we got to spend the last 2 days with him and his staff, and I was amazed at how relaxed and calm he was, this being a pressure situation going into the first ball game of the year.
Amaro is ready. He gets the okay. Tom Quinn, the referee in charge of this game. First meeting between these two clubs since 1980. Here we go. The season underway for John Cooper in Ohio State. It's going to be Greg Walker, a freshman, fumbling the ball at the 5. Picks it up, and he'll be buried. Greg Walker making a mistake, and the crowd here at Ohio Stadium has erupted.
More often than not, when you drop a kickoff like this, Gary, you're just losing your concentration on the football. Now, he looks it in pretty good, but he wants to become a ball carrier before he is a receiver. He's got to get it tucked away first, obvious.
He had an outstanding kickoff game against Temple, running turn 2 for 62 yards. Zach Dumas was the guy who was down there quickly on top of him. So from the 7-yard line, the Orangemen start deep in their own territory. Phil Cox, the quarterback. Johnston and Drummond in the backfield. Glover, number 81, comes in motion to the near side. This is Drummond. Drummond to the 10, maybe to the 11-yard line. Let's set now these teams offensively. First for the Orangemen of Syracuse. We mentioned coming off of that victory last week, 31-21. Phil Cox taking over for Don, or should say McPherson, of a year ago. Johnston, the fullback. Drummond, Moore, Glover, and Davis, the big tight end. There's the offensive line. Their best guy is Turnell Sims, their right tackle. Glover and Moore split out now on a second down. 6 yards to go, operating just outside the 10. Give to Johnston, the fullback. He's going to be a couple of yards short of the first down to the 15-yard line. Andy Gerd made the stop. And let's look now defensively at the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Showalter, Sullivan, and McCready up front. Sullivan at nose guard, outstanding player. Zivakovic at one of the outside linebacking spots. Gerd, Benio, McRae, Smith, Dumas, Peel, and Brown. A lot of changes from a year ago. Moore, Glover split out. Third down, 3 yards to go for the Orangemen. Delayed handoff coming up to the near side to Drummond. Drummond breaks it across the 25. He has a first down to the 29. David Brown, the free safety for Ohio State, drops him, but that's a 16-yard pickup by Robert Drummond.
You're going to see right here a pass.
And so the line of scrimmage now just short of the 30s. You look again at that, Dick Vermeil. Drummond got excellent blocking on that delayed handoff.
Yeah, good hard upfield rush hurt the defense. He went underneath it with the draw play.
So the 16-yard pickup just short of the 30. Phil Cox giving off to his fullback Johnston. Johnston, big, strong senior out of Youngstown, New York. Mike Showalter led the charge defensively for the Buckeyes. Showalter out of Bay Village, Ohio. So the line of scrimmage will be the 31, a pickup of about a yard, 2nd and 9.
Gary, John Cooper was telling us that he was #1 concerned with the ability of the defensive front 7 of Ohio State to stop the running game and don't be pounded and worked over up inside, because they are physical and a little more physical than their linebackers are.
3 wideouts as they have Davis also split out on a 2nd down 9 from the 31. Phil Cox on the option, pitches back to Drummond. Drummond to the 35, and he'll go out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Jim Peel, the strong safety, number 46, over to make the play. They didn't run that option all that much last week, Dick, against Temple.
No, but they did run the option pass off it. But they said they're going to run a little bit more now because they know that's probably the only way they're going to be able to get the ball outside the perimeter of Ohio State's defense.
3rd down now, 3 yards to go. The line of scrimmage at the 37. This is the initial series of this game. Davis and also Andrew Dees, double tight end alignment on this short yardage play. They go to the wishbone. Phil Cox, the senior, out of Norwood, Connecticut, gives off to Michael Owens. He's dropped for a loss. Dropped at the 35, and that's Jim Peel coming up. Peel out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. And that stops the Orangemen's offensive efforts.
Jimmy Peel, strong safety, lined up right here in this position. The bottom of your screen goes up and underneath the block, gets underneath. Penetration and short yardage, you can't do that. Got to punt the football.
So the loss back to the 35. Cooper Gardner will come in and punt. This is Vince Workman, number 42. Gardner, a former defensive back for Syracuse. Last week averaged 42 yards. Standing at his own 20. The snap is a good one. The punt, it'll be a return by Workman. He's got it at the 24, and he's going to be dropped there. Excellent coverage that time. Syracuse with Bobby Fuller getting down there. 41-yard punt. We'll be back. No score. It'll be Michigan State against Notre Dame here on ABC. Well, they really got out of a pretty bad situation, starting from the 7-yard line, got the ball all the way down to the 20. Here is Fry, his first start at big offensive line, a very good offensive line up front. Uhlenhake, an All-American candidate at center. From the 20 now, Fry with his first start for the Buckeyes. Gives off to Workman. Workman out across the 25 to the 27. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3, but they came out of that in very good shape, field position.
They really did, and Syracuse's whole offensive philosophy, of course, is number 1 to score with the football, and then number 2, if they can't score, to punt the football on the other side of the 40-yard line, giving them at least 60 yards to go. In this case, they're better off than they would normally like to be.
This defensive backfield of Syracuse, one of the best, led by Marcus Ball, preseason All-American pick. 2nd down 3 now from the 27. Fry, handoff to Mark Hicks. Hicks, the former California standout, goes nowhere. Hicks just eligible this week after taking 21 hours of summer school. That time using his speed but couldn't get outside. Dan Busey made sure of that along with Chris Ingram.
Focus your attention on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Big Joe Stasiak, number 79, is going to pull. Here he goes. Going to be deep action in the backfield. Hicks will be coming around.
And so it's going to bring up now 3rd down, still 2 yards to go. They gained a yard for all of that. High formation backfield, receivers wide left and right. Fry rolling to the near side on 3rd down. His first pass, Olive fell down. Bobby Olive, the intended receiver, number 8, trying to come back to the football, fell down, and so there was no chance to complete the pass. And that brings up 4th down. So Fry's first pass of the 1988 season, they weren't on the same page, so to speak. And now a big moment coming up for Ohio State. Jeff Bowman, his first punt ever. Sophomore out of Centerville, Ohio. They're going to come after him. The punt is underway. He did a beautiful punt. Chris Ingram goes back for the Orangemen. Up to the 20. And he'll be dropped at the 23. So Bowman, who they were very shaky about, came in and punted the ball 53 yards. No score at Ohio Stadium.
It makes a difference. If he was a professional punter and they were paying him $400,000, he'd probably shanked it.
At the 23, Syracuse has the ball for the 2nd time. No score, 10.5 minutes to go, first quarter of play. 3 wideouts on this play. Phil Cox back to throw, setting up inside the 15, hit as he delivers the ball to Johnston, incomplete. Johnston had a moment where it looked like he might have the catch, couldn't hang on. Andy Gerd was right around where the ball was thrown.
Quarterback Phil Cox, young, inexperienced, 5th-year guy, young and inexperienced. So he sits back. Look at the pocket now, Gary. A lot of time to throw. He gets hit right at the last second, throws it downfield. Big old 96. Shereko says, give it to me again.
Zizikovic.
Zizikovic. All right, I got it.
All the Czechoslovakians are going to give you a lesson.
Zizikovic, I got it. Had a great chance to visit with him.
2nd down 10. 3 wideouts again. You got to have some fun with this anyway, right? Phil Cox now back once again, throws near side, dropped by Michael Owens. So 2 passes now. One for sure that should have been caught by Owens. The other by Johnston was a tough catch.
He was going to run with that football before he ever caught it. He turned his helmet. He was looking upfield. He was about ready to make the big play.
Phil Cox last week in the first half against Temple completed 10 of his first 12 passes. He had a brilliant game. In fact, he was the most valuable player of the game. He's big. He's 6'4", weighs 209 pounds. Very smart. Already in graduate school at Syracuse. 3rd and 10. Moore and Glover split out along with Davis, the tight end. Davis comes in motion. Cox dumps it, far side, Johnston the fullback. 25, breaks the tackle to the 30. What an effort that got the first down. That is just sheer determination by the fullback, Darrell Johnston. Johnson picking up 11 yards, just breaking one, then two tackles to get the job done.
You notice that Phil Cox gets hit right here. He still gets the ball off. Now watch the big old fullback. Boom, he runs over one man right there, Peel, number 46. He gets upfield. He's the sort of a shadow of the old past fullbacks at Ohio State.
Well, and maybe a Larry Zonka put in there, too.
Yeah, you bet.
Who did very well for Syracuse. So a 3rd down and 10, they get it. Pick up 11 yards. First down. That's got to give Phil Cox some confidence after 2 near misses. Pitch comes back to Michael Owens, and Owens across the 40 to the 42. Jim Peel over to make the stop for the Buckeyes.
You know, Gary, they're executing their offense very well, the options, the passing game. And last week, the first 2 times they had the ball against Temple, they took the ball down and scored. A lot of poise for a 5th-year quarterback that really hasn't played any football.
John McPherson a year ago just led this team, played almost virtually every minute. In fact, Phil Cox attempted only 9 passes a year ago. But he's the man now. 2nd down, 4. Moore and Glover split out along with Davis. No score thus far from Ohio Stadium. 2nd possession for the Orangemen. Phil Cox on the option, gives straight ahead. And Mike Sullivan stuffs that one. Johnston going nowhere. Let's go to New York now. Here's Al Troutwig.
Some of America's top teams are having problems today. Among them, the Trojans of USC. On Stanford's opening drive, Brian Johnson to Jim Price. 7-0 Cardinal over the Trojans. Back to you, Gary.
Boy, that would be a shocker. Of course, USC coming off of that impressive win over Boston College. 3rd down now, 3 yards to go. Moore, Glover, and Davis split out. The split backs behind Phil Cox. Straight back. Got a lot of time. Johnston over the middle, clears, and I think he's got the first down and does. Jim Peel staying with him, the strong safety, but Johnston showing he can catch the football coming out of that fullback spot. That's a first down.
They're giving Phil Cox good time. He had a nice cushion. There weren't any defensive rushers around him, so he can sit back there, gain his composure, look at the coverage, then drop off the check down like he did in that situation to Darrell Johnston.
McPherson, what a job he did a year ago. Syracuse, best season they'd had since that national championship team of 1959. They won the Lambert Trophy. First down now, 8:12 to go, first quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 47. On the option, Phil Cox keeps it. He's to the 45, to the 40, and he's really hit there. That was David Brown who unloaded on him. Brown, number 27. But, Dick, that's what they wanted, was Phil Cox carrying the ball on the option.
Defensive coordinator Bill Young said they want Phil Cox to be the ball carrier. They don't want the ball in the hands of the gifted running backs with his speed. This guy is not known for him. Now, that linebacker in that situation should have forced him just a little bit more. He gave him too much room, Gary.
That ends up being a 15-yard pickup. So they don't want Owens carrying the ball or Drummond, but that time Phil Cox saw the opening and he took advantage of it. First down now, operating from the 37 of Ohio State. Play action. Phil Cox rolling near side. Johnston, the fullback, to the 30. 25, 20, 15, and he dropped at the 11-yard line.
Excellent execution. A little counter action in the backfield. Fullback out of the backfield after being faked to initially. Here you can see in the center of your screen, he's heading for that first down.
That ends up being a 25-yard pickup, and one of the new wrinkles is throwing to the fullback, and it's working well.
They did it last week, too, though, Gary, remember?
And from the 12-yard line, first down now for the Orangemen. 7:37 to go in this first quarter. High formation backfield. One man split to the top. Hand off to Johnston. Johnston inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. A gain of 3.
Syracuse was 85% efficient in putting points on the board inside the 20-yard line last year, and they're very efficient.
What was that stat they had? They were 17 for 17 and sent the 5-yard line?
Inside the 5-yard line, yeah. That includes kicking field goals, but that's still outstanding.
It really is. Line of scrimmage, about the 8.5-yard line. Let's make it second down. That's where they'll have it, at the 8.5. Second and goal from there. Give to Owens, and his knee touches as he tries to make a cut. Michael Owens out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, an outstanding basketball player, as is his brother, Billy, who is signed to Syracuse, considered to be one of the top 2 high school basketball players coming out of this year's camp. He and Alonzo Mourning.
Coach McPherson, Gary, says that Mike Owens actually has more innate talent than their starter, Robert Drummond, number 36. It can make the big play, but he's not as consistent, not quite as disciplined yet.
3rd and goal now. Should say 3rd and about 5. They can pick up a 1st and goal at the 2. Receivers wide left and wide right. The split backs behind Philcox. Philcox setting up. A lot of time going to the end zone, and nobody can get to that ball because Dwight Smith had turned around, defended Rob Moore, and McPherson's wanting some interference on that far side.
You noticed that he had his hands back. He was not face guarding him or anything like. Here he goes, Rob Moore down the outside on the fade. Now Dwight Smith looking at him, so he's really making sure that he does not interfere with him in any way. Look at that. I didn't touch him, sir. I didn't touch him.
That's a fine piece of defense.
Great defense. Actually, it was a poor throw. Inexperienced quarterback trying to force the completion.
Kevin J. Green now will attempt the field goal. This will be a 25-yarder. Philcox to hold at the 6:13 mark of this first quarter. Green's kick is on the way, and Green has put Syracuse on the scoreboard. Kevin J. Green, who was 1 for 1 last week. That's officially a 24-yarder. 8-0 lead. That's the drive. 70 yards. Philcox engineering it so well, using his fullback effectively. Having to settle for the field goal after great defensive effort in the end zone by Dwight Smith.
Plus, poor execution in terms of an inexperienced wide receiver in Rob Moore, number 14, and an inexperienced quarterback. The receiver just stopped dead in behind the defender, and the quarterback threw it anyway.
So John Cooper's team will get the football, still looking for their initial first down of the game. They trail 3-0, 6:10 to go in this first quarter. Green will be kicking off. Vince Workman and Carlos Snow will go back to receive for Ohio State. To the near side, it's going to be Snow. He's got it at the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and he brings it out to the 28. Let's join another member of our broadcast team on the sidelines. Here's Becky Dixon.
Thank you very much, Gary. And I'm with a family that has always felt that football is very important, especially when it's John Cooper football. This is the Cooper family. With me is Helen, the wife of John, also Cindy and John Jr. Helen, you know, John told us a couple of days ago that the pressure of being the coach at Ohio State is something that's with him 24 hours a day. What's it like for the family?
Well, there's great pressure on the family. He has the 1-loss record to think of, and I think for a family, we want to win to be accepted by the community.
Cindy, your dad's coaching career has taken the family practically all across the country. How difficult has that been for you, always changing schools, new friends?
Actually, Becky, it's been a great experience. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been a great challenge meeting new people.
John, many people may not know this, but you were a heavily recruited high school player, yet you chose to go to Tulsa and play for your dad there. What was it about John Cooper, the coach, that made you want to play for him?
Well, I knew what kind of father he was, and he's a great father, so I wanted to just experience firsthand how he deals with his players, and Becky, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was a great experience.
All right, and I know you're anxious to get back on the sidelines and do something about that score.
That's
All
right.
right, thank you all very much, and best of luck this year. Gary?
Thank you, Becky. Quite a family, the Cooper family. 2nd and 8 now. Fry delivering on target. And the catch is made by Jeff Ellis, a big sophomore tight end out of Louisville, Kentucky, and he's going to be something special. Marcus Paul made the stop, but it's a first down, the first of the game for Ohio State.
Really well executed play action pass. Froze all the linebackers, allowing the tight end to cross in there cleanly. No one around him when he catches the football. And that big Ellis is a gifted athlete.
Well, his daddy was the ex-heavyweight champion of the world, Jimmy Ellis, and he's here at the game. 13-yard pickup on the play.
But he lost a 12-rounder to Muhammad, didn't he, one time?
I tell you, a lot of people lost to him. Give to Carlos Snow, and Snow out of Cincinnati, a sophomore who had a freshman debut that caught the eyes of most people, dropped by Rob Burnett, outstanding defensive end for Syracuse. The line of scrimmage will be marked at the 47, and it'll bring 2nd down and 7. Snow last year scored 4 touchdowns against Minnesota.
He is a big play football player.
He and Workman will share that tailback spot. Wes Sigenthaler and Bernard Edwards are split out. Snow in the backfield along with Matlock. Fry on a delayed handoff, trying to find some running room as Matlock, the fullback. Boy, that was sheer determination because Syracuse had that one jammed up pretty well.
David Bavaro, number 59, the fine inside linebacker, stepped right up in the draw hole, took him on. Matlock, short, stocky little fullback. He spun off that tackle, worked upfield for a short gain.
3rd down and 3. Matlock was hurt. He was out about 10 days with a sprained knee. He's a walk-on from Columbus, Beechcroft High School. Always wanted to play for Ohio State since he was 5 years old. 3rd and 3 from the midfield stripe. Workman and Matlock in the backfield. Fry setting up. Quick look far side. It's on target. The catch is made by Bobby Olive. And Olive has a first down inside the 40 to the 38. Chris Ingram defending on the play. And boy, that pass was very well thrown.
Bobby Olive, another free agent. Look at the cushion out there, left-hand corner of your screen. He just comes up, runs a little 6-yard hitch, puts his hands up, says, hey, I'm wide open. Get me the football. Scholarship or no.
This guy only weighs, what, 154?
154 soaking wet. He played so hard when he first came here, he earned a scholarship, and that shows why.
All the way from Douglas High School in Atlanta. So the first down, a pickup of 12 yards to the 38. Matlock bounces off the people inside the 35 to the 34. David Bavaro made the stop. Let's go back to New York. Here's Al Troutwick.
Well, Gary, when this is announced in the Horseshoe, the place will rock. Rutgers upsets Michigan State at Michigan State this afternoon, 17-13. The Big Ten this year, 0-6. Back to you.
Wow, I guess if the people here in Ohio Stadium get that score, that's a shocker. The Rose Bowl champion Spartans. That's our game next week against Notre Dame in Lansing.
They'll be a little upset next week.
Oh, George Purvis will get their attention. Second of all, Workman is drilled. Mark Swinson, number 88. I'm really impressed the way the Syracuse team delivers a blow. We saw that in last week's game.
They really put the pads to you. Good fundamental coaching by that defensive coaching staff. Paul Pasquale, Randy Edsel, Clarence Brooks. They do a good job, all directed by Norm Gerber, the defensive coordinator. They hit you.
Workman receiving that one from Swinson, who was ineligible last year due to academic difficulties. Brings up now 3rd down and 8, just short of the 35. Sigenthaler, Edwards split out. They go to the shotgun. Fry with a lot of time. Excellent protection. Clearing over the middle. The catch is made by Sigenthaler to the 15-yard line. Wes Sigenthaler out of Massillon, Ohio. Keith Freiberg caught up with him, and that's Sigenthaler's first catch as a Buckeye.
Actually, it's a double zone coverage. Left-hand corner of your scheme. See him work underneath. Number 4, Sigenthaler works underneath in the zone, in there. Underneath coverage, all taken care of by the flare control of the running backs. There he is in the hole all alone. First down, move the chains.
17-yard pickup to the 14. Sigenthaler, a real tough kid who's had back surgery. He's come back from that. Right now, the starting wideout. 3-0 Syracuse. 1:56 to go in the first quarter. Sigenthaler split out with Edwards. Hand off to Matlock. Matlock to the 10. Double inside the 10 to the 8. David Bavaro, who is a brother of Mark Bavaro, the all-pro tight end for the Giants, made the stop, and Cooper now moving close to his first touchdown at Ohio State.
He's talking to offensive coordinator Jim Coletto up on the phones, making sure he gets called what he wants get called at this time. It's the first time he's ever been inside the 20 at OSU.
2nd and 4. They can pick up a 1st and goal at the 4. Edwards, Sigenthaler split out. High formation backfield. Workman along with Matlock. Fry looking around now. He gives to Workman. Workman hurdles the line, gets to the 6. Workman out of Dublin, Ohio. Dan Boosie made the stop for Syracuse.
I really like how David Bavaro, number 59, the inside linebacker for Syracuse, attacks the line of scrimmage. They play him a little bit deep so they can move clean to the point of attack, and he really takes you on. No wonder he has bad shoulders.
Ooh. 3rd down, 2 now. A short 2 to get a 1st and goal.
They say David's much like his brother Mark. Neither one of them say very much.
Boy, they just speak with their actions. Ellison Palmer, double tight end alignment. Workman and Matlock in the backfield. Right, a Matlock. He's running into trouble, but he got it, I think. Bouncing off the initial tackle. able to stay on his feet inside the 5. It's going to be very close. Good determination by Matlock.
He is short and stocky at 5'9", 220, and I'm not too sure he is 5'9" when you stand on him. Here he is, ground level, quarterback reverse pivot. Here he gets it. Now watch, big pile up. Now you'll watch the center screen. Reverse pivots. He spins around to the left, works up. He knows where that first down is. He knows how to get it.
And they got it. First and goal at the 4. Substitution now. Palmer, the tight end, comes out of the football game. Uhlenhake comes up. Zakharov, Davidson, Moxley, and Stasiak.
You know, Cooper's not the kind of guy offensively that they're used to around here at Ohio State. He will throw the ball down there in these situations.
He keeps you nervous, very unsettling. First and goal for the 4, pitch back to work. And he may have gotten the yard. A little trouble with the footing.
Yeah, well,
good over there.
Good defensive penetration. Forced him back up inside. He tried to make a cut, and he slipped. It's about the 3rd or 4th player I have noticed slipping on that AstroTurf.
So we have played the first quarter here at Ohio Stadium. John Cooper in his debut, trailing after the first 15 minutes. Dick McPherson and the Orangemen with a 3-0 lead.
Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you in the way you look tonight. Lovely, don't you ever change, 'cause I love you just the way you look tonight.
One taste will tell you why.
Just the way you look tonight.
The night belongs to Michelob.
Daddy, I want my teddy bear.
I want my soda.
Grandma, isn't this fun?
Oh. I want my Serta.
Here's why people want their Serta. Why they're spoiled for any other mattress. Only Serta goes beyond just being firm. Beyond what others do. We top our support with the extra comfortable Serta Surface. A unique difference you can feel in a Serta Perfect Sleeper.
I want my Serta.
They wanted this to be a vacation they'd never forget. And it was. So don't carry cash. Carry American Express traveler's checks. Don't leave home without them.
For every man who wears Brute deodorant, there's a woman who'll always be glad that he did. Because a man who wears Brute deodorant is nice to be close to. Brute. It smells like a man.
Great.
Welcome week activity.
The new head coach of Ohio State, and that's the headgear he's going to be wearing. And there'll be a story later about how they've changed through the years on the caps they've worn, and an anxious moment for Dick McPherson. It's 2nd and goal now for 3 for Ohio State, who trails 3-0. Workman and Matlock in the backfield. In motion, Jay Cook, number 82. Pitch to Workman. And Workman, tough sledding, maybe a yard, and that's all. And Syracuse right now, those big, strong Eastern guys, slamming the door shut.
They're forcing the ball back up inside right now. Good penetration coming off the corner by the outside defenders. Turn them right back into the crowd, and the crowd is mad at them. They don't like them inside there, Gary.
3rd down and goal. They gained virtually nothing on that play.
I was actually surprised they didn't throw on that 2nd down situation. Now it's almost an obvious, some type of action pass, maybe the quarterback on the corner.
Workman, Matlock in the backfield. Split out as Bobby Olive. He comes in motion, number 8. 3rd and goal now from the 3. Fry rolling. He's in trouble. He gets spun around and dropped back at the 12. That was Jeff Mangrum, the strong safety on a blitz. And Fry absolutely had no chance on this play. He was lucky not to get the ball separated from him.
Jeff Mangrum came off the corner. It's a play action fake inside. He has the back to the rush. He looks up. There he is, Mangrum. Uh-oh, here he comes. Now here comes Rob Burnett, number 7, and puts him down.
Boy, that's some defensive stand, isn't it?
Quick pressure like that.
So now the field goal attempt coming up. Matt O'Mara will try to tie this ball game up. Scott Powell will hold. Tom Moore will snap. And this is going to be a 27-yard field goal attempt. Snap is down. O'Mara's kick is on the way, and we have a flag. The kick is good, but let's see what the penalty flag's all about. O'Mara trying to tie this ball game up, and Tom Quinn now indicating something. Let's see what it's all about.
Here it is, the snap, nice placement, good kick. Let's see the contact. Boom, there he goes, took his feet out, roughing the kicker.
And that goes against Ingram, number 24, who cut him down around the ankle. So we cannot hear, or did not hear, Tom Quinn a moment ago. They're going to refuse it. They'll take the field goal, and they will penalize him on the ensuing kickoff. So it's all tied up, 3-all here at Ohio Stadium.
Listen to the heartbeat
The new Beretta.
of America.
A sport coupe that prefers a curve to a straight line, with a special sport suspension to conform to roads that don't conform. And a price as uncommon as the car itself. Beretta, for people who appreciate the not so straight and narrow.
The heartbeat of America.
Beretta.
That's today's Chevrolet. Listen to the heartbeat. America was built on dreams, and business is the key. We ensure where America works, we're USF&G. From the mountains edge to the ocean's edge, we insure you every day. We protect what America's made of. We cover the USA.
Monday, the Dallas Cowboys head to Phoenix for the Cardinals' first season home game. It's ABC's Monday Night Football, the only way to kick off your week.
Some discussion going on here, Dick Vermeil, about whether Ohio State should have accepted the penalty, which is not an automatic first down. Running to the kicker had been half the distance. They would have had still about, what, a yard and a half to go, and you never want to take points off the scoreboard.
Well, you do from time to time, depending on the game situation. The score, if you're behind, hey, and the 3 points isn't going to help you very much, you do. But in this situation, second quarter, early score, 3-3, hey, don't take the points off the board. Good decision.
That was an impressive drive. It just stalled inside the 5, 16 plays, 62 yards, culminating into the field goal.
Cooper's concern is he doesn't know how strong physically this team is. When he came here, took over the program, Gary, he had 3 guys that could bench press 400 pounds. He's used to being around bigger, stronger people. He's hired a new strength coach to improve that situation.
I tell you what, with the size he gets, when he gets those guys strong, they're going to be scary, aren't they?
They're big enough to eat hay, those guys in that locker room.
You went in and you thought some of those guys were bigger than what you had in Philadelphia.
They were. That Tim Moxley, they shouldn't give him a locker. They ought to give him a stall. He had about 305 pounds. Holy mackerel. And he can move.
He's only 6'7", 295 pounds.
Yeah, and I don't think they have the correct weight.
O'Mara tied it up, will kick off. Back deep, Michael Owens also over there as Walker. That ball's going to make it into the end zone for the touchback.
That was misjudged by Mike Owens. I don't know, is there a sunlight factor back here, Gary?
I think probably he may have that looking right now as the sun starts to set behind these stands here in the west. Line of scrimmage now will be the 20. Syracuse, who took the lead in the first quarter on a 24-yard field goal, and Ohio State now has tied it up with a 27-yarder.
You know what's really impressive to me is both of these quarterbacks executing so well in the passing game.
And Fry in his first start.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we talked to him. He showed a lot of poise yesterday.
Yes, he did. And Phil Cox has done the same thing.
On the 20-yard line, 3 wideouts on this play. Johnston, the lead back. The guy behind him is Drummond, and Drummond has the ball. Drummond across the 25 to the 27.
Drummond, the ball carrier.
It was a real nice block by Mike Bernard, who pulled, I think it was the left tackle, 69, pulled across and trapped just in time to break that play open. As you take a look at this here on your screen, Okay.
Well, we'll take a replay later, huh?
Give me one of those juices.
The Buckeyes and the Orangemen from the 29-yard line. Now, gain of 9 on that play. 2nd and 1. Rob Moore and Glover split out, and sneaking it is Phil Cox, and he got the first down. As big as he is, at 6'4", almost 210 pounds, that's a pretty effective play.
It is. This guy is, as you said, a bright young man. Had the opportunity to talk with him in the locker room yesterday, and it exudes confidence, exudes awareness of what he's doing. He knows his responsibility. Very excited about the opportunity to play after sitting and watching McPherson, the great quarterback, play all those years.
Who, by the way, is with the Philadelphia Eagles now. At the 32-yard line, first down now for the Orangemen. Johnston, Drummond, the backs behind Bill Cox. That's Glover in motion. And a whistle.
Flag on the play.
We have not been able to hear Tom Quinn earlier. Let's see if we can pick up his microphone.
This is a mixed crew of officials, right? Big Ten, Pac-10.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense.
Ball start.
I didn't see anybody move. Did you?
I didn't either. I was looking to see if it was delay a game, but there was still time on the 25-second clock. So the 5-yard penalty now will move it back to the 26-yard line.
You know, there are coaches that have the theory that when they travel into a different conference, they just soon not bring any of their own officials because they feel sometimes the traveling official tries to please the other crew, and it works against you.
That sounds like a paranoia situation.
Hey, you ought to travel around and find out what I'm talking about.
1st and 15 after the penalty now. That's Davis, 87, the tight end, jumping around.
Going on balanced line.
They do that quite often. Bill Cox on the option, pitches back to Drummond. Drummond's in trouble. Good play. Reaction by the Buckeyes. A scarlet and gray there, led by Michael McCray, the All-American candidate. Mark Polini, a backup free safety, and they had that one diagnosed from the moment it started.
As you watch this from the... Watch the option inside now. They run the fake to freeze the linebackers, and they do a good job. Now watch Peel, number 46, as a safety, coming inside out, forcing it wide, and there's his buddy, partner in crime, Mike McCray, the outside linebacker, making the play. Good inside-out pursuit by that safety.
Shows you how well McCray could run, too.
Yes, sir. Peel was struggling to get there, and he had the angle.
So they lose more yardage. It's 2nd down, 19 yards to go now. Moore, Glover split out. Hand off to Johnston. They tried to cross him up. That fooled nobody. And in particular, number 49, Andy Gerd, out of Chagrin Falls, Ohio.
Andy Gerd likes to play football. You know that Andy Gerd was born in Belfast, Ireland. Here he is playing football at Ohio State. Both parents are orthopedic surgeons. He's studying to be a veterinarian. Pretty bright linebacker. I'd take my horse to him, wouldn't you?
That's right. He started last year as a true freshman. He's had a lot of shoulder problems. They're concerned about the health of those inside linebackers, in particular Gerd and John Sullivan. So now 3rd down, still 19 yards to go. 2 wideouts, Glover along with Moore. This is a quick kick by Johnston, and he shanked it. He shanked it off the side of his foot. Terrible kick. That ball's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Last week, he was able to quick kick one 53 yards. But this time, Dick McPherson surprised only Syracuse.
This is a brand new shop vac that comes with a surprise.
So where's the surprise?
In a minute. First, this baby picks up stuff like nails and glass like a regular shop vac.
So where's the surprise?
And like a regular shop vac wet dry, it also picks up water.
So where's the surprise?
Just watch. You twist the top, lift it off, and you've got a portable blower. A surprisingly powerful blower.
Shop vac. If it doesn't say shop vac, keep shopping.
You've seen Ford do this for years. But now there's a big new Chevy with enough power to not only haul tons of trucks up this mountain, but also tow away the entire mountain. The advanced full-size Chevy. No wonder, when it comes to pickups, America's having a change of heart.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
Next Saturday, Notre Dame tackles Michigan State. Then the defending national champion Miami Hurricanes storm into Michigan, all on an ABC college football doubleheader.
Gary Bender, Dick Vermeil. So the quick kick by Johnston does not work. He gets 8 yards on it, and Ohio State has the ball just short of the 30-yard line.
Last year he kicked 2 quick kicks for an average, or 3 actually, for a 61-yard average. He kicked one the other day for 53 yards. It just backfired this time.
So from the 30 now, Ohio State tied 3-3 with Syracuse. Excellent field position. Fry, the late handoff to Carlos Snow. Snow breaks it to the 25, to the 23. Boy, he is fun to watch. He looks for that cutback. He runs so well against the grain. Terry Wooden made the stop.
That's what they call a sprint draw. The quarterback will take the ball, center of your screen. He takes it all the way back deep, delayed. Now, look, you cannot get in that kind of room. He gets in there. He gets a nice block in there from number 68. Does a super job of making that first down.
That's Uhlenhake.
Second, didn't get the first down, excuse me.
Uhlenhake is the guy they think will be an All-American out of Newark, Ohio. 2-time All-Big Ten performer. Second down, 4 yards to go now for the Buckeyes. Fry to Scotty Graham, the fullback, and Graham to the 20, very close to the first down. That was Mark Swinson and David Bavaro in on the stop for Syracuse. Let's see, they'll look across the far way to see if he got it or not.
It's close.
They're going to bring it in. They're going to bring the 6 in.
Actually, the strength of Ohio State football team right now is the offensive line. I think the strength of Syracuse might be those defensive guys. That Rob Burnett, Mark Swinson, those guys play pretty good. Then they have that young pup, Frank Conover, the big nose guard in there.
They're saying that Conover's a big force and he doesn't even know it.
That's right. He's a big force. Coach Mack introduced him to me yesterday, and he said, when this guy finds out what it's all about, he's going to eat some centers alive.
Right now, the stick's in, and it looks like they're going to be short. They are. By that much. So the line of scrimmage now at about the 20.5-yard line. They needed to get just about on top of the 20-yard line stripe, and John Cooper, who did such a great job at Arizona State in his 3 years, winning the Rose Bowl. Before that, such a successful coach at the University of Tulsa. Outstanding assistant for many, many years, and taking a job which he said applies 24 hours of pressure.
Every day, and gone 3 times a week. He says I feels more like a PR man than he does a football coach, because the state, when you coach at Ohio State, you coach for the whole state, and the state owns you. Different than working at UCLA. You have a crosstown rival at SC. You have Stanford, you have Cal, all in the same state. At Ohio State, the whole state owns you.
Here we go, 3rd down and inches. Everybody is in tight. Fry's going to pass, rolling out, looking, throwing. It's complete. The catch is made by Jay Cook. And that is a new wrinkle that you're going to see from John Cooper. He will come out and surprise you. On 3rd and inches, he goes to the air.
If he figures if I don't make it on 3rd and inch, it's incomplete, I'll go for it on 4th down. Fake action there to Matlock, number 11. He gets a pickup. There's the Cook right there sitting in the zone. And actually, a lot of college teams play zone in the short yard goal line situations. They just tighten it up. In that case, they were in zone coverage.
Boy, the fans here are going to love that call, aren't
they? Oh, they love it already.
Line of scrimmage just inside the 15. 1st down now. Fry, 2 receivers, put to the near side, gives Snow to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Ohio State. So for the first time in this game, the Buckeyes have the lead. Pat O'Mara to attempt the point after. Snow built so low to the ground, he's hard to discover when he goes up the middle. 14-yard strike that time. Beautiful run. That makes it 10-3. Let's look at it again, Dick.
Here he is, just the I formation slant play. Gets the ball back to him deep. He finds a little crack. Gets a nice block right there at the point of attack. Turns out Burnett, number 70, working outside, gets another block up inside. He finds it, heading for the end zone. He's in there.
So Snow scores the first touchdown in the John Cooper era.
It took 2,000 years, but a revolutionary discovery is changing the way men think about coloring their gray hair. It's called Just for Men, from the leader in men's hair coloring. Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, shampoo out. Your gray is blended away, leaving your natural-looking color. 5 minutes. Here, look at me. Just for Men leaves your hair looking healthy and fuller, and it won't fade or wash out. Just for Men, in the men's hair care section.
Sometimes you got it today. Emerson's got it right. Fine-tune your life. Nobody's gotta tell you. Emerson does it right. Fine-tune your life.
Fine-tune your life with Emerson.
Carlos Snow from 14 yards out, the Cincinnati Kid. Going to hear a lot about him in the years to come. A sophomore, as John Cooper's team now with a 10-3 lead at the 9:08 mark. And of course coming after that 8-yard quick kick, which set it up at the 30-yard line.
You know, it's no surprise that Snow could find the end zone. He's the national high school scoring leader in touchdowns with 108 rushing touchdowns. Heck, the guy scored 31 as a senior. That's more than most teams score in a season.
That's a career for most people. O'Mara now ready to kick off. Michael Owens goes back along with Greg Walker. 10-3, the Buckeyes. It's going to be Walker this time, the freshman out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Out to the 22. Well, tonight, something special coming up from the Rose Bowl. ABC's college football featuring a matchup between the Cornhuskers of Nebraska, 5th-ranked UCLA, number 2-ranked Nebraska. 8 o'clock Eastern. Troy Aikman, the leading Heisman Trophy candidate, but don't forget about Steve Taylor of Nebraska.
And he's good, but Troy Aikman is more the classic passer. Steve Taylor, the mobile guy that can run and pass. Hello, Mr. Snow.
Tell you, whoever wins that ball game is going to be a real threat to Miami for the national championship in the early going.
You could say that this early. You know, a lot changes between now and SC. You know, but
from the 22 now, Syracuse trailing for the first time in the game. Phil Cox gives off to Owens, and Owens spun down for maybe a yard. And right now you can see the defense has gotten a real lift from that Ohio State offense. Michael McCray out of Dayton Dunbar, and Ken Coleman also out of Dayton, making the stop. Gain of maybe a half yard, and that's all. McCray, great speed, just has a chance to be outstanding. All-American candidate. He played with Keith Byers at Dunbar High School and was a basketball center, believe it or not. Glover and Moore, the wideouts. Second, almost 10. Davis, the tight end, in motion. Bill Cox with time. Davis over his head and picked off. Picked off by Brown. David Brown's got it, and Ohio State has it.
He had an open receiver, action pass. He gets back, makes a little draw fake right there. Nice fake, good action by the quarterback. All he does now is he overthrows the receiver down in the middle of the right-hand side of your screen. See that? There he is, David Brown, intercepting the 8th interception of his career. He knows where the ball's coming down, Gary. He knows.
And so the Buckeyes in great shape.
Listen to the heartbeat
Chevrolet Corsica LT.
of America.
Now you can enjoy sleeker aerodynamics in a Porsche 928S, a taut F41 sport suspension, electronic fuel injection, all for a price that lets you indulge yourself without denying your responsibilities.
The heartbeat of America.
Corsica LT.
That's today's Chevrolet.
Sir, would you choose hamburger A, a Wendy's hamburger served hot off the grill, or B, made earlier so it gets dry and tasteless?
Tasteless? I'll take B. After my wife's cooking, tasteless would be a pleasure. My wife's cooking so bad, even the dog orders out. And talk about dry, her coffee's got cracks in it. Do you know what she serves for dessert? Chapstick.
Then why not have the juicy Wendy's hamburger?
What? And hurt her feelings?
Most people prefer the taste of hot and juicy hamburgers like Wendy's, the best burgers in the business.
Tonight, two of the nation's top teams meet when the Nebraska Cornhuskers tackle Troy Aikman and the UCLA Bruins as ABC's college football continues tonight.
Dick McPherson, after the quick kick did not work, now having Phil Cox overshoot his tight end Davis, finds himself now backed up. Ohio State has the football at the Syracuse 43. 10-3, the Buckeyes. Siegenthaler is split out. High formation backfield. Fry to Madlock to the 35, and is he a bull?
Does he put the head on it?
Oh, Marcus Paul was the receiver of that blow. He just hung on, and Madlock has a first down.
Just the old fullback slant. Offensive line coming off the ball real well. He finds a crack. He gets up there. And Marcus Paul, at the safety number 10, is normally the guy that knocks you on his back. See, good cross block up inside. Zakharoff opens the hole. There he is. Now watch it. Boom! He gets right underneath and catches Marcus Paul off balance. Normally, Marcus Paul is the guy knocking you on your back.
That's right. It goes the other way, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Boy, he received quite a jolt that time from Matlock. First down, just short of the 30-yard line. Fry, play action, rolling to far side. He's got Bobby Olive open. Olive's got it at the 15, comes to the near side, to the 10, and he's dropped there. Caught up with him, but let me tell you, Olive was so open, it was almost embarrassing. That was an 18-yard pickup.
It was a deep square in pattern, Gary, and he got down there. He found himself in the hole, and then he started working toward the middle. He had his hand in the air like he's going to signal for a fair catch, trying to draw the attention of the quarterback.
That is going to also add some more yardage. You saw Tom Quinn indicate tackling by face mask.
Play action fake against him. Nice fake. Now he gets outside to the right hand of your screen. He's got Jeff Davison out there. He has plenty of time, and here he comes across in that big hole. Zone coverage, no linebackers back in the zone due to the play action fake. Big play.
18-yard pickup. Well, Ohio State was concerned.
Against the defense, half the distance to goal line, first down.
So the penalty, half the distance to the goal line. We started to say, as you look at John Cooper, that he was concerned about his wide receivers. They lost Everett Ross, their leading receiver, a year ago due to academics. And so they were playing a lot of young kids, including Olive, a sophomore, Edwards, a freshman, Siegenthaler, a sophomore, and they've looked good thus far.
They do look good. You know, the one thing in common, though, they can all run pretty fast.
They're good athletes.
Yes.
So now it is a first and goal from the 5. That's Jay Cook in motion, number 82. Workman. He's to about the 2-yard line. Boy, did they come off the ball on that play.
Workman's excited about being back in the tailback position. You know, they moved him to wide receiver a year ago, and he had a 1,000-yard rushing career earlier in his the years here at Ohio State. In fact, we saw him run pretty well one day here a few years back. He's really excited about that, being back in that tailback position.
Well, his sophomore year, he gained over 1,000 yards. They thought he'd be the next great back. Earl Bruce moved him to a wide receiver. He asked to come back, and as you mentioned, he's happy.
He likes it.
Bobby Olive split out.
Likes the new offense, too.
Second and goal now from about the 3.5-yard line. Fry, Workman, and he paid for that one. That's Bavaro. We mentioned Bavaro before, the junior out of Danvers, Massachusetts.
Boy, he puts the pads to you. He takes a tremendous angle, a great angle at the ball.
If he's as tough as his brother, he's tough, huh?
Yes, he is. Neither one of them, like the coach says, if those guys were on What's My Line, it would be a silent show.
They say pound for pound, he gets the most out of that frame. 220-pounder, the leading tackler a year ago for the Orangemen. So now Cooper's got a decision to make here. Third down from the 3, and it's tough inside the 5 for the second time.
Bet it is.
And he wants a timeout. Cooper wants a timeout. I don't think they saw him. They didn't
see it.
So they're going to run this play. Cook comes in motion, kind of a zoom tight end. Play action, Fry rolling around, looking, being chased into the end zone. Touchdown, catch by Ellis. Dick, that's one of those plays where you're glad they didn't see the timeout.
That shows you sometimes how important coaching is. They made the call. They didn't like the call. They're trying to get it changed. The quarterback goes ahead and runs a touchdown. Coach would call on the phone. Hey, no, guys, that was a heck of a call after all. Yeah, great job in the press box.
He'll probably tell him he wasn't trying to get a timeout now.
Yeah, I was just waving to you.
Anyway, Ellis, boy, is he an impressive guy, the sophomore, with the catch. Point after attempt by O'Mara, and Ohio State, after trailing early in this game 3-0, now has bounced it to a 17-3 advantage.
To the right side of your screen, up on top, you'll see Ellis, number 8, in. He's blocking first. Now he works off the block and becomes a receiver. He works out to the outside. Here it is. He breaks away. There it is. Touchdown and getting off Keith Freiberg. That's really tough coverage for a linebacker.
And Ellis, showing the good hands, takes it in.
In every town in America, there's always one place that does a little bit better job of fixing your car. And it seems the things they all have in common are great mechanics, great service, and Napa parts.
A legend has been created. A better battery for the future. Better reserve power with up to 2 hours and 25 minutes. Better protection with a warranty backed by Napa that lasts over 6 years. The legend from Napa. A better battery.
I stained this last year, and it's fading already. Why?
You didn't protect it with Thompson's Water Seal Solid Stain.
Look at that streaking. Guess I used the wrong stain.
You did. Only Water Seal Stain contains Thompson's Water Seal, a formula that protects the color and wood better than the leading solid stain, and this test shows it.
With Water Seal Stain, the next time won't be for a long time.
Thompson's Water Seal Solid Stain, beauty that lasts at last. Now available at selected paint, hardware, and home center stores.
Up until a few minutes ago, USC had done very little right in their game with Stanford. Aaron Emanuel, a 12-yard touchdown run, and USC is back in this game 13-7 and charging again with the ball in Stanford territory. Gary?
So USC trying to come back in Palo Alto. There's Ellis, who made the catch. And we are really impressed with Fry. He is 6 of 7 for 76 yards, and of course that touchdown just a moment ago.
When you think he had 20 minutes playing time last year, he's doing exactly what John Cooper said he'd do, though. Gary says the guy will execute the offense intelligently. He'll make good decisions. And we watched him on the practice film, no game film to look at. He did just that.
I'll tell you one thing he's got going for him is that line really doing a great job up front for him, protecting him. He's got great confidence in him.
The other thing he's got going for him, too, he's a very bright young man. He's a smart, he's a very good, he's an English student. He knows what he can understand, you know.
There's the drive, coming, of course, after the interception by David Brown. So they're playing on a short field, Ohio State is. They got the 8-yard quick kick, who set him up very nicely from 30 yards out, and then the interception from 43 yards away. And they have been opportunistic, using it to their avail. Owens will return this one for the Orangemen. 15 to 20, and that's about where they got it the last time. Good coverage by Ohio State flying down there. Judah Herman, number 36, and Tim Rutledge were down there first. And so now Syracuse, after having an early lead in that first quarter, 3-0, find themselves down 17-3. Thus far, Syracuse has started from their own 7, their own 23, 20, 23, and 21. So they're playing on a long field.
Oh, they are, you know, and they're almost to the point where they're starting to think of getting away from their basic game plan. You know, 17-3. They don't want to panic, you know, but it's at the same time now you start to open up your thinking a little bit.
A lot of people have panicked here in Ohio Stadium.
Yeah.
You come in here, it's intimidating to say the least. From the 21 now, Phil Cox on the option. Pitches off, nice pitch to Drummond. 30, 35, and that'll take some of the panic away. That was very well executed by Phil Cox. Drummond, after he was able to hang on that ball until the last instant, able to pick up on the play 18 yards.
Well, you remember the last time, Phil Cox kept the ball. They didn't force him to pitch it. He went up inside, made an 8-9 yard gain. This time they forced him to pitch it. They're going to have to get a happy medium in that defensive adjustment.
You know what was impressive? They came to the short side with that option and still made it work.
It's hard to run it to the short side unless your defense has already overshifted the field, and that was the case in that situation.
Drummond, 6 carries, 49 yards. First down now at the Syracuse 39. Phil Cox, delayed handoff. And it's Drummond again. Drummond to the 43-yard line.
The ball carrier.
That was Mike Sullivan, number 67, the nose, leading the charge. Mike and his twin brother John in that starting lineup, both out of Timberlake, Ohio.
Sullivan, nose guard, left center of your screen, right on the center. Number 67, look at take on the double teams. He spins all the way back, comes back out of it. 57, his twin brother. Johnny Sullivan goes ahead and finishes him off. Did you see him? He buried himself under the double team, spun back inside, boom, makes the play, then gets some help from the other half of the family.
He had to do a 180, didn't he, to stay alive on that one?
Good thing he's short.
Second down, 6, gain of 4 for the Orangemen. 17-3, Ohio State. Bill Cox wanting to throw. A lot of time. Swings it far side. The catch is made by Drummond to the 45. Lowers his head, and he's got the first down. And that is a very resourceful run. Zach Dumas met him over there, but Drummond with good leg drive got the yardage he needed.
He wanted to go downfield, of course, with the ball. He wasn't thinking of laying it off. But what was nice about this, if in terms of Syracuse, the key to that play was Devall Glover, the wide receiver, who was downfield. Gary worked all the way back and got a key block to allow him to make the first down.
They don't throw a lot of passes to Glover because of the defensive coverage. They will overload on his side.
And he is always the receiver to the wide side of the field.
At that time, they get the first down on just determination by Drummond. At the midfield stripe, Bill Cox back to throw again. Time to throw over the middle, Davis. Davis dropped at the 44. A big tight end tackled by one of the Sullivans, John this time. John coming back from major knee surgery.
Yeah, he's had both legs worked on. He has. One of 6 children. You know, it's amazing how many times you go around in football, professional and college, you see the large families, you know, number of children in the family. Normally those kids play defense.
Why is that?
I don't know. Probably have to fight their way to the table. I don't know.
2nd and 4 now. Bill Cox has this team moving. Johnston the lead back. Drummond the I formation tailback. Bill Cox on the option, wants to straighten up and throw, does on target, and it's complete at the 30 to 35, I should say, to Devall Glover, the man we talked about earlier, Brian Benio over there. Glover had a great Sugar Bowl game. He had a career day, 6 catches, 91 yards against Auburn.
I'll tell you, and that kind of pass was really tough to defend because they ran it off the option play. He comes down there, the defense plays the option, and they throw the pass. Tough to defend.
Another first down. This is an impressive drive. It comes, Dick, when they really needed to get something going.
They need it right now. They better get it in the end zone.
Glover to the near side. Davis split out. First down at the 34. 3:50 to go in the first half. Bill Cox giving off to Drummond. He hurdles people close to the 30-yard line. And it's Benio making the stop. Drummond from Jamesville, New York, which is right outside the Syracuse area.
2 miles away from campus. 2 miles.
You know, they have to go far to recruit him, did they?
No. In fact, well, he just wanted to come to school there.
Great work ethic. He has 3 career 100-yard days. Had a 100-yard game last year against West Virginia.
Coach Mack says he is a coach's player all the way. Great attitude, young man.
2nd down and 6 now for Syracuse from the 30. Bill Cox on the option. Pitches back. Last moment, Drummond. They got a couple of yards out of it. Boy, that's a dangerous play. Bill Cox had a tackler draped all over him. Zizakovic was over there.
Zizakovic is, you know something I asked him, you know Zizakovic is from, you know where he's from? Canada. I said, what are you doing down here? That was a great recruiting job. He says, no, sir. He says, I recruited him. I wrote them and said, I want to come to Ohio State. Here he is playing.
But it is a Czechoslovakian background. You did ask him that.
I asked him that.
Zizakovic. 3rd and 3 now after that last play. Moore, Glover split out. The split backs of Drummond and Johnston. Bill Cox back, blitz coming, throws, and Davis, did he get it? No. They say he trapped it. Pat Davis tried to get back to the ball. He fell down, and he's upset. Brown defending on the play. Davis, the senior out of Trenton, New Jersey.
I thought he caught it. I'd be upset too, Mac. Yell at him. Get after him. You're in enemy territory. Get after him. I thought he caught it too from up here.
Well, obviously, we don't have instant replay in college.
That's a good thing.
You kind of said that under your breath.
Here is drop back pass. They're coming after him. Bringing linebacker Sullivan up inside. Brought the safety around the outside. I thought he had his hands underneath him. Can't really tell from that angle.
So now a field goal attempt by Green. Green has already kicked a 24-yarder.
By 45-yarder.
Yep, and he feels comfortable from this range.
He was 1 for 1 last week from this distance.
They think his range is about 47, and he's at 45 this time. Bill Cox to hold. Brian Featheroff to snap the ball. Green's kick. Is he going to make it?
Good. Looks good.
He got it. And Green, Kevin J. Green, has kicked 2 field goals. He's 3 of 3 for this season. And so Syracuse, after trailing 17-3, comes 3 points closer at the 2:56 mark. Dick McPherson's crew now trailing 17-6. He's trying to help that one get through.
We're not a company, but we recognize potential. We develop it. We use it. We'll make sure that as your responsibility grows, so will you. As your ability for leadership grows, so will you. Working with us, you'll gain self-confidence, become a person with a future. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
It's the right beer. It's silver smooth. It's a sight. It's the light shining right on you. All the glitters all over town. The silver bullet won't slow you down. So come on into Coors Light. It's the right beer now. To the good life, yeah. The good life, yeah. So come on into Coors Light. It's the right beer now.
ABC's College Football is brought to you by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. By Shop Vac Wet Dry Vacuums. If it doesn't say Shop Vac, keep shopping.
Ohio Stadium, a record crowd for opening day, 90,000 plus. Temperature kickoff time 81 degrees, and Ohio State, the debut of John Cooper, thus far going very well. They lead at 17-6 at last drive with a 45-yard field goal by Green has cut it to 17-6. And that was at a time when it was critical that Syracuse gets something out of the drive.
Give them a little lift. We got 2 minutes and 56 seconds before the half. They got to be a little pumped up about that. Not as good as a touchdown, but they're still going to be satisfied.
Mark Hicks goes back. He's joined there by Vince Workman. Hicks, the exciting player from California, where he's a freshman All-American, and this is Green, who's 2 for 2 on the day, 24 and a 45-yard field goal.
Didn't take them long to get Hicks in there. Remember, the coaches were saying, oh, we don't think we'll play him. Not until we play the first game.
And this is Hicks. He's got it at the 10. Here he goes. Boy, can he fly, too. At the 25, 30. Look at this. 35, 40. Still on his feet. Oh, what a run. Kevin J. Green, who kicked off, got over there and got to him eventually. And that's the kind of excitement he provided for Joe Caput, California.
Here he takes the ball. He gets a little help initially, but a lot of this is just on effort, and the defense doesn't contain him. See the man slip to the outside? They're all constricted to the inside. Lost contain. Actually, not real good coverage, Gary. You got to keep people on the left side of him as well as the right side. They turned him up the left side. Nobody there to make the play. This is why he's in the ballgame, right?
He's something. He creates problems, doesn't he?
What did he do against Arizona State, Cooper's team?
70-yarder one time, a little pass over the middle, and Cooper remembers that very well. That was a 34-yard return. Sets it up at the 44. Ohio State's had good field position. Off to Snow, he falls down.
I tell you, they have to replace this AstroTurf. It's not a real good AstroTurf.
Well, they're going
to. Too slick.
Yep,
too many football players slipping. The visiting team is allowed to slip. They might not be riding the right shoe, but the home team knows the best shoe, okay? And they're still slipping.
But to answer your question, they are going to replace this carpet. They'll have a new one next year, so Jimmy Jones, the athletic director, must have heard you.
No, but I noticed that, you know, when we were walking around here, that it is pretty slick.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard, too.
A lot of players have been slipping on it.
So the line of scrimmage to 42. They lost a yard. Second down, 11 yards. Sigenthaler, Edwards split to the near side of the field. 17-6. Blitz coming. Fry reads it, and it's broken up, deflected. Fry saw the blitz coming from the near side. It was Mangrum, the safety. Tried to get rid of the ball, and somebody reached up and got a hand on it.
They tipped it. It was either Mangrum tipped it or Terry Wood. Maybe Wood, number 90, tipped it.
Good pressure coming that time from Syracuse. Boy, the Orangemen have made it tough. You get inside that 5-yard line, you got to work for everything. And right now, Ohio State has a 3rd and 11. Sigenthaler, Olive comes split out. Olive to the near side. Fry giving to Snow. Snow is going to get back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, and there's some real hitting going on right now. David Holmes out of Burlington, New Jersey, who they think is their most underrated player, came over there and grounded him in a hurry. Talk about Cooper's team not being strong. Syracuse's team is strong. They have been in the weight room, and it's been a big advantage to them.
They're also very agile. Coach Mack is very excited about Mike Wojcik's contribution as a strength coach.
Speaking of the strength coach, Becky Dixon's with him.
All right, thank you very much, Gary. As you know, John Cooper said after he saw this team in the spring, if there's one thing he wanted to improve, it was the team's strength. So he hired Bert Hill, and Bert came here in June. Bert, specifically, what kind of program did you implement?
I think the biggest difference is we've gotten back to free weights. They'd gotten to machines and gotten away from the free weights, and we've gone back to them, and I think it's going to make a difference for us.
In 3 months, what have you been able to accomplish?
We tested our players before and after, and we saw 10 to 15% improvement for everybody.
Of course, the real test comes out here on the field. How do you think, strength-wise, they look in the trenches?
Well, it looks pretty evenly matched. It's going to come down to the second half of field position and conditioning, and I think that'll determine the ballgame.
All right, thank you very much, Bert. Gary?
So Syracuse using a timeout. They have 2 remaining, and for the second time in the game, Jeff Bowman will come in and punt. Remember his first one? 53 yards. Let's see if he can continue that. Trying to replace Tom Tupa, who averaged 47 yards last year. Here's the kick, and he hit another beauty.
And it's good.
They're going to make him forget Tom Tupa, right? Back it comes to Ingram. Chris Ingram to the near side of the 20.
You know,
line down there was Matlock on the stop.
I think you have to give Coach Cooper some of the credit for the success of Bowman's punting right now, because he said, he is my punter. I'm going to live and die with this guy, and if he punts a bad one and when he comes out, I'm not going to chew him out. He's my guy, and the punter has to appreciate that.
Hey, let's switch now and think about Monday night from Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. The Dallas Cowboys going into Phoenix. It's the first regular season home game for the Phoenix Cardinals, who lost a tough one at Cincinnati, and Dallas losing a bitter game to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I notice people are already writing Dallas off. I think what a big mistake it is to write Tom Landry's football team off this early. I've done it a few times, got beat.
He's only been coaching 29 years there. Back to throw is Phil Cox. Up the middle, and Rob Moore's got it. He corrals it at the 40. So Rob Moore, who they think is the next Al Toon, if you will. 6'2", 197, a sophomore out of Hempstead, New York. They're going without a huddle. They have the line of scrimmage at the 39.
You notice Phil Cox yelling left and right. We saw him go through this yesterday on the field, Gary. He's going, hurry, hurry. Then he calls the play.
They have 2 timeouts left, 1:35 to go in the first half. Wilcox back, lots of time on target. Owens will try to get out of bounds, and does, and get some additional yardage just across the 50. And Andy Gerd made the stop.
I think he made the first down too, but the quarterback starts yelling, hurry, 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 hurry. That tells everybody, forget the huddle. We're going to line up right on the line of scrimmage. If he doesn't yell that, they come back to the huddle.
Coming up at halftime, the Prudential halftime report, a preview of that big game tonight from the Rose Bowl, Nebraska, UCLA. That'll be something special. Your buddy Terry Donahue would like to win one. Osborne is 4-0 against him.
He knows he has the great quarterback. He's a little concerned about not having the great supporting cast in terms of receivers for him.
First down now for the Orangemen. 1:24 left in this first half. Owens crossing pattern, stays on his feet to the 40. He's to the 35, the 30, and he goes out of bounds to stop the clock as Zach Dumas rides him out at the 26. And that is a great athletic move that time by Michael Owens.
Again, they're giving a little too much time. Of course, it's a prevent defense situation. Everybody dropping off, not rushing too many people. Give him time. This kid's going to throw the ball well. See, look at the rush. Right now, you can see 2 men coming. There's 3-man rush. Crossing pattern underneath the linebackers. There he goes. Good balance. You're not tackling a wide receiver. You're tackling a running back. You got to get the pads on it. Get him out of bounds.
24-yard pickup. 24-yard pickup just short of the 25. A minute 15 left in this first half. Bill Cox, his team trailing 17-6. Back to throw. Pressure. He's in trouble. Dropped back at the 35. Michael McCray was the first to get there, number 99.
99 is a linebacker, but when they go to the 4-down lineman, they'll put him down as a linebacker. McCray and Showalters and those people. That time, see, there is the pressure they have to get on that kind of guy.
Well, that's the first time they've really had it, and now Syracuse will ask for another timeout.
Here he is. Look at him trying to step up inside to the pocket. Hey, there's no pocket there. He says, Coach, you didn't tell me it was going to be this tough.
Well, that really now takes them out of probably field goal range as well. Ball back to the 35. Stops the clock with 1:07, and Syracuse still has 1 timeout remaining. It's going to be 2nd and 19. We said earlier that Green is comfortable from about 47 yards. He kicked a 45-yarder earlier. First time that the mascot from Syracuse has been here since 1980.
What was Coach McPherson saying the last time this game was played here? He was in Cleveland watching the game Saturday before a pro game on television.
He was the coach for the Cleveland Browns, the Denver Broncos. I thought it was interesting when he said that, hey, Ohio Stadium, Columbus, Ohio, that's what college football is all about.
He said they really have been the foundation or the tradition setter for college football all through the country. This is where it is.
There's some ghosts that are running around this place. There's such great athletes and players through the years.
What'd he say? He said, I hope Woody Hayes is watching the game today because I've got a fullback he'd love. Did he say that to us?
Yep, he sure did. Number 32 is the guy he was talking about. Here we go, 2nd and 19, 1:07 left in the first half. Dwayne Kenneth, 43 in the ball game, goes in motion. Phil Cox scrambling up, and he's going to be dropped. He'll lose a yard. The ball comes loose, but it's been blown dead. That is Mike Showalter, 98, with the ball, and Kuchersky was also there on the play. That was just good pressure again. Kuchersky is one of those guys who said, I'm going to make 10 tackles and 2 sacks today. Well, there was one of the plays he just made.
He is a character. I met him in the locker room yesterday. Nobody else was around, sat in and visited with him, and he loves to play football.
They think he's going to be outstanding. Phil Cox back down on 3rd and 21, delivers it to Owens. Owens needs a block. He gets to the 26. And Brian Benio, the sophomore out of Roswell, Georgia, who grew up initially in the Columbus area, over to make the stop. And now Syracuse will use their final timeout as they will come to a 4th down and still 11 yards to go. Boy, they are really spreading the defense around, aren't they? They're making them play sideline to sideline with this offense.
Well, they're in their 2-minute offense too right now, Gary, so they're going to spread them out and do what they can. And actually they were trying to get the ball out of bounds with that crossing pattern.
Well, next Saturday here on ABC, we'll have a college football doubleheader. First, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame take on Michigan State. They're going to be fighting mad after
will
today.
They be upset?
Oh, and then the 9th-ranked Michigan Wolverines host the national champion Miami Hurricanes, who just reloaded. It all begins live at noon Eastern here next Saturday on ABC. Everybody picked Florida State #1, and it kind of riled up those Miami Hurricanes.
Right off the bat.
Oh. Well, they're going to attempt the field goal now after that scrambling play. This will be a 43-yard attempt. Bill Cox to hold. Green already 2 of 2 from 24, and earlier 45 yards. From the right hash mark, Bill Cox to hold. Feather off to snap the ball. Green's kick, and this kick is no good. Wide right. So he misses his first field goal of the season.
JC transfer from Simi Valley, California. Went to Moore Park Junior College. Brought to Syracuse to do the job kicking.
He waited 2 years to get a crack at it. Of course, he is still having the pressure of the streak. The streak being 227 straight PATs. That's an NCAA record. He inherits that streak, and there's some thought about that's more pressure than Syracuse really wants.
Yeah, Coach Mack says, you know, if we ever got ahead enough, I wouldn't mind if we miss one just to get out from underneath it. But when it's tight, let's keep the streak going.
Well, last week he was 4 of 4 in the PAT department. That's a lot of points after in a row. Isn't that something that's remarkable when you think about it? Line of scrimmage at 26 now with 22 seconds, and Ohio State will be content to just go into the locker room with a 17-6 lead. A lot of football in this first half, Dick.
Good execution by both teams. Syracuse has broken down with a turnover. They've given Ohio State the good field position twice. Ohio State takes advantage of it.
And so John Cooper's debut is successful at the halfway point. Cooper, after trailing early in the return he had earlier, he's number 23. Green, who was 2 for 3 in the field goal department in the first half, missing his last attempt in the last seconds of the first half from 43 yards away. Here we go. Green will hit this one to the near side, and it's going to be Mark Hicks, and he's something to watch. Up to the 15, 20, 25, and to the 22, 27-yard line. Let's look now statistically. Dick alluded to the fact how well statistically Syracuse has been doing in this football game.
The big difference really has been the field position, but you take a look at just total yards, 210 yards to 146. You also look right under that number, very significant, 1 turnover to 0.
Cooper said it very well. We haven't gotten any penalties. We haven't committed any turnovers. Not any adjustments to be made. Just keep playing. In the first half, Fry was 6 of 8 for 76 yards. He has the football now at the 27-yard line. Hewlin Hake is the center once again with Davidson and Zach off the guards. Moxley and Stastniak the tackles. Pitch to Workman. Workman to the 30. 35. Stays on his feet. First down, 40-yard line. David Bavaro bulldogs him down, and Workman is fired up. He waited a long time to get back to this tailback position.
He got a good lead block by Bill Matlock, the fullback, number 11, to the left center of your screen. Focus your attention on him. Now watch him go up inside, cut down Bavaro inside. There's the crack. Nice block right there by Zakharov, number 51, gaining the lane. Again, another good block by the wide receivers. These guys think blocking is important.
Pick up on the play of 13 yards. Sets it up at the 40-yard line. In motion comes Bernard Edwards for the near side. Play action by Fry. Fry with time on target. Catch is made. Terry Wood a hit on Jeff Ellis. That is Terry Wood, number 90, the junior out of Hartford, Connecticut.
Terry Wood may be a sociology major, but he's not very social when you get to his area. Huh? Does he give it to you?
They think he is the best linebacker in the Dick McPherson era.
And what's he say? Wait till you see his baby brother JoJo. He says he is even better.
His mother even said that.
That's right.
Can you believe that? She's choosing sides. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Ellis hanging on, and Ellis has been impressive. He has a touchdown catch, hanging on to that one. Right. Little draw, up to Workman to the 50, 45, 40, another first down, and Workman now on 2 carries has picked up 2 first downs. David Holmes over there to make the stop for the Orangemen.
That play broke down defensively on the backside. That was not a design cutback. The defense over pursued. Now watch the right side of your screen. The defense, Barnett, comes down inside. He gets upfield. He opens a crack upside, and Conover 99 doesn't get off the block. There was a big hole backside. Like good execution by the offense.
15-yard gain for Workman. 5'11", 195. As we said, his sophomore year, he gained 1,000 yards. Went to the wide receiver spot, and he's home. Sigathaler split out. Woodward mishandled snap from center. It looks like Fry got on it. Fry pouncing on it.
You know, in that situation, if you're the quarterback coach, it's the center's fault. If you're the offensive line coach, it's the quarterback's fault. It's amazing. You ought to hear coaching staffs argue about that, whose fault it was.
Well, whoever's fault it was, they didn't gain anything on the play. It'll be 2nd down, virtually 10 yards to go. That's one of the few miscues in the first game for John Cooper. It says a lot about their preparation for this game.
They'll be extremely well prepared at any time they play. John Cooper has always been known for having a well-prepared football team.
2nd down, 10 for the Scarlet and Gray. Fry setting up to throw. Ellis, he's got it. 25. Oh, is he a big target? 6'4", 230, and he went up for that one, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Looks like he may have hurt his hand.
Well, the thing is, there was pressure coming from the backside. As you take a look at this, now watch from the right side of your screen. See the action coming? A nice block, but there's still pressure coming on there. He gets it there, man-to-man coverage because of the blitz. Well executed. Jeff Ellis makes the play.
He goes down to the ball game. 15-yard pickup, and Jim Palmer, not the pitcher. Jim Palmer out of Londonville, Ohio, comes in. Number 85 at tight end. First down, just inside the 25 of Syracuse. Initial drive of the second half. Matlock, the fullback, spins for a couple of yards. Matlock, as we mentioned, the walk-on, who's such a devastating blocker. They were really concerned about the fullback spot. He went down with another fullback, and Matlock, though, wasn't going to miss the opening game.
He's a dedicated Ohio State Buckeye. He's wanted to come to Ohio State since he was 4 years old. No one gave him a scholarship in terms of the Big Ten. Other smaller schools recruited. He says, I'm going to OSU. He walks on. Here he is, a starting fullback. Got to get
down 8. When you give him the number 11, you know they didn't expect you to play very much in fullback, right?
That's right.
2nd and 8 for Fry. There's a little draw handoff to Snow, who's in the game now. And now Conover will come up with a tackle. Let's go to Becky Dixon. She has a guy who would like to be in this football game today.
He certainly would, Gary. With me is Craig Stopel, the outstanding offensive lineman for Syracuse. He is out for probably most of the season with a broken ankle. Craig, a 14-game unbeaten streak on the line. What did Coach McPherson say in the locker room at halftime?
Coach Mack and all the players themselves just echo the same statements. We gave them 2 touchdowns, basically. We're giving them the ball inside the 50-yard line. we felt that if we controlled our mistakes, we could come back and win this game.
You have been helping Mike Bernard, your replacement out here. How would you assess his performance so far, and what advice have you given him?
Mike Bernard has improved over last week, and that's always a good sign. I'm just telling him little tidbits on how he can react to their defensive fronts. If he plays consistent along the offensive lineman, we'll have no problem moving the ball.
All right, thank you, Craig. We hope to see you back later in the season. Gary?
So Stopel not in there, and right now his teammates struggling a little bit. Jim Palmer, the guy who replaced Ellis, coming up with that, and the catch is made, moves it to the 16, and it's going to be 4th down. And Pat O'Mara will come in and attempt the field goal. 4th down, just too much to try to go for it. 4th down, still almost 2 yards left to go.
You know, I was surprised the fans didn't already get on him and say, hey, let's go for it. We're running on a wide open offense, aren't we?
Some kind of sense of reason has to come in here. This is going to be a 33-yard attempt. Scott Powell to hold the ball. The kick's up very high, and the kick is on the way, and it's good.
It's good kick. Even O'Mara's pumped up.
So Pat O'Mara adds 3 more points to the Buckeyes' advantage. They lead it 20-6, 10-18 to go in the 3rd.
And about Earle Bruce?
Well, Earle had the best record in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Those years.
But he's still glad to be here.
He said, I'll take the 24-hour pressure a day.
He loves it.
O'Mara ready now after kicking the 33-yard field goal to make it 20-6 in favor of OSU. Coming up is Owens. Owens at the 20, 25. Syracuse will start this drive at their own 31, maybe 32-yard line. Well, Craig, Stopel was really right when he said that they really handed a couple of great opportunities to Ohio State, but this last drive, the opening drive, that was just impressive football, culminating in the field goal.
It was. You know, Gary, we have a man down in the field right now.
This is going to be the best field position all day long for Syracuse to start a drive. Let's try to pick up who that guy is as soon as possible. One of the Buckeyes. So Phil Cox will come in. Phil Cox in that first half completed 10 of 15, 128 yards, 1 interception. That's Zizakovic, I believe.
No,
Strecko, is it? Let's wait and see. We're going to be back. We'll find out who the injured player is. 20-6 in favor of Ohio State. The junior out of Weston, Ontario, Canada, and he comes off walking on his own power. They'll look him over.
That's a good sign when you walk off in your own power.
So as we come back now, it's a 1st down for Syracuse from their own 31-yard line. Drummond and Johnston, the running backs. 3 wideouts on this play. Davis is split out with Moore and Glover. Ohio State adding to 3 points to their advantage at the start of the second half. Give to Drummond, 35, and he dives forward close to the 1st down to the 42.
He actually had his choice that time. He could have run at the point of attack, took the option and ran backside, made a nice gain. Guess you can't fault the guy for making that kind of decision, Gary.
Drummond in the first half had 62 yards on 9 carries, and he's picked up another 1st down. There's nothing wrong with their running backs. Owens and Drummond, they are a lot of trouble. And as you said, you feel if they could run that option and keep it going, they will give Ohio State some problems. Line of scrimmage, 42.5. 9:46 to go in the 3rd quarter. 20-6 Ohio State, who trailed early in this game 3-0. Give to Johnston, the fullback. He pulls across the 45 to the 47-yard line. John Sullivan made the stop. Johnston was the valedictorian of his high school class. He's got a look in his eyes like he really enjoys life.
He does. You know, you sit and talk with him, he can hardly help from grinning, you know, and you look at him, a good-looking guy. You know, he's an honor student. He was valedictorian, as you said. He's got his grade up to about grade point average about 3.0 right now. He's been having a little too much fun, Coach McPherson said.
He was rated the best fullback by the Sporting News at the start of the year, the best in the country. 2nd and 6 now. Phil Cox, play action, rolling near side, pulls up, throws wide open Davis, and he dropped it. Oh, that kills you, doesn't it?
Yes, you're allowed one once in a while. Boy, that one killed you, Patty.
So Davis, who is playing with a fractured index finger, and not trying to make any excuses for it, but he should have had it.
He will be coming from the right side of the screen, Gary. He's out there, and now he gets too much time. No pressure in his face. He can turn back and throw across the formation. Here it is. Look at. See, he tucked the ball into his body. He's turning his helmet to look at where he's going to run before he's just concentrating and getting that thing tucked away.
The coaches say he has enormous talent. They're just waiting for him to arrive. He's had some good moments, but that's not one of them.
He put the shot put 55 foot 8 inches in high school. That's a long put, isn't it?
3rd down 6 now for Syracuse. Phil Cox straight back. Over the middle, broken up, intercepted, picked off. It was intended for Johnston, the fullback, and McCrae's got it instead. Michael McCrae, with his linebacker drop, getting back there, taking the deflection, the second interception by Ohio State.
There are times when the zone defense is a disadvantage. There's the times when it's an advantage. This time's in its advantage. He lays it up there, everyone loose there, everyone watching the ball. See, now it's a tip drill. McCrae gets it 99, he becomes a running back, 4th interception in his career.
And so Ohio State has a football and a 20-6 lead. Fry was 9 of 11, 103 yards, starts this series. It was at halftime 17-6. The Buckeyes have added 3 in the second half. A give to Matlock, the fullback, and he picks up 5 to the 45-yard line. Hicks is in the ball game right now. Mark Hicks, who's been returning kickoffs, but now playing that wide receiver spot. You got to be aware of him at every opportunity.
He's had a little hamstring problem. Look at that smile.
That's the way he runs, with his eyes closed all the time.
I kind of doubt that, the way he's ricocheting off people going up through there.
Whatever he's doing it well.
He's doing it right, yeah.
Olive and Hicks split out. It's Hicks to the top, to the near side, Olive. High formation backs of Snow and Matlock behind Fry. Fry giving straight ahead to the fullback, and he just drags people with him for the first down inside the 40-yard line. David Bavaro got him. That's just good determination by the guy who we've been talking so much about, number 11, Bill Matlock.
I think young people like him are inspirations to the high school kids that are watching the game today. Here he is, a walk-on, and just performing like a highly recruited player.
He's carried the ball 9 times now for 44 yards. First down at the Syracuse 39. Now Bernard Edwards is in the ball game. He and Hicks split out. 7:50 left in this third quarter. To Matlock again, nothing fancy right now. Maybe 2-3 yards on the play. There'll be a couple of yards. Let's see, it'll make it second down and 7 yards to go. Dan Boosie making the stop on that play. Boosie is from Mentor, Ohio. He was really thrilled to be able to come back into Ohio Stadium. He was the Ohio pole vault champion his senior year.
14 feet 9 inches. Can you believe that? There was a day when I can remember when the 15-footer was really something. Remember that?
Boosie, by the way, they say he's too big now to pole vault. They'd have to get a bigger pole.
He's coming off a 2.5-year rehab program.
Second down, almost 8 yards to go. Both receivers split now to the top of the field. Fry gives off this time to Snow, and Snow very close to the first down at the 30-yard line. It was Boosie again on the stop.
Boy, Matlock, he can do more than just run. He got a nice block that time out of the fullback position. He doesn't have to bend over to hit you. At 5'8", 5'9", he's right there in good body position.
Snow used it to a good advantage.
You watch the fullback prepare to the left of your screen, number 11. There he goes in, takes on the linebacker, cuts him down in a hole. Positive game.
Third down and still a yard to go, just short of the 30-yard line. Snow, as you mentioned, the great high school career he had. He started part-time last year for Ohio State. Now backing up working. This is Fry keeping, trying to follow his fullback through the hole. Mangrum was there. He's very close to the first down. He needed to get to the 29-yard line. And they're looking across the far away. They're going to have to measure, I believe. They will.
Yeah, I think he's got it just from up here.
Fry again showing very good poise on that play. Having the confidence to wait on that play to develop and follow his fullback through the hole. Tonight, later, coming up from the Rose Bowl. What an outstanding game this is in the early part of the season. Nebraska, UCLA. Terry Donahue going for his 100th win, and Tom Osborne the 150th of his career.
You know, the amazing thing about Coach Donahue, before I left and he took over, about 3 weeks prior to that, he had been turned down as the head coach at Oregon State. He was ready to quit coaching. He never thought he's 32 years old. He thought he'd never get a head job. He was so disappointed. I mean, you couldn't believe how down he was. Here he is going for his 100th win.
And did you imagine how down Oregon State must be to find out about all that, huh? All right, it was a first down, as you could see. First down by measurement, just inside the 30-yard line. Hicks, Olive split out. Snow, Matlock, the running backs. Play action, Fry, he's in trouble. Burnett had him, and then boom, from the backside, DeRiggi Fred to Reggie, number 67, finished it off. But Burnett is the guy that caused all the problems.
That was a naked play where he pulled everybody and come out away from him. Now you'll note the quarterback going back, faking it. The tackles are pulling. No one is blocking Burnett. They expect him to pursue. Smart, maintain the discipline of the defense, forced him back into the backside pursuit. Sack.
Loss of 7. Back to the 36. Burnett is their impact player, they think, for this year, out of Coram, New York. He was a second-team All-East selection a year ago, led them in sacks with 11. Edwards and Hicks split out on a second down now, 17 yards to go. Dry, the late handoff to Madlock, running behind that big line to the 30. Madlock to the 25, to the 24. Marcus Ball eventually dropped him 5 yards short of the first down. For a guy who figured he might not even get to play in this first game because of a knee injury, he has really done quite a job. 12-yard pickup.
Just a draw play, fullback, left-hand side of your screen. There it is, good lead block up at the point of attack. Gets him cut down now. There's just a big pile at the left. Now he takes advantage of the one block downfield and heads for the first down.
Thus far, Ohio State is 6 of 10 on third down conversions. It's 3rd and 5. Fry straight back. Near side is Hicks. Nope, couldn't hang on. Had it look like for a moment Marcus Paul really delivered a blow, and he could not hang on.
That's the one thing Marcus Paul can do. He can intercept the pass, but he can also make you pay for it when you catch it. He's the leading active player in the NCAA right now in terms of interceptions. 15 career interceptions. There are 20 players with 20 or more in the history of the NCAA. He might be in that category by the end of the season. That guy can play football.
So the field goal attempt coming up. This is going to be a 41-yard attempt. Powell to hold, O'Maro to attempt it. And at the 4:20 mark, he gets it up high. I think he gets it up in a hurry, and it's good. That ball comes exploding out. That's what you want to see in a field goal kicker. And O'Maro has been able to register the field goal. So he's kicked 2 in this second half, and McPherson's hot. He's unhappy. His team trailing 23-6. In the second quarter, he kicked a 27-yarder. I talked to Pat O'Maro quite a bit yesterday. He has a real system when he sets up. He kind of has that funny way of pointing his hands down.
I always worry about kickers that have a real sophisticated system before they kick the ball.
Remember Ray Werging, though? He would never look at the post, would he?
No, he never looked up. In fact, he just retired.
Yep.
He's not kicking anymore.
Not because he wanted to.
Well, sooner or later, it happens to everybody.
Tomorrow to kick it off now. Ohio State dominating the second half, and you could see Dick McPherson as we went away for a break. Hot. He is not happy. Kickoff this time will be gathered in by Greg Walker. Walker up to the 20. Spun down to the 22. You know, every kickoff, Dick, I think has ended up there. I think they have stopped him at the 22 almost every time they kicked off. That's consistent coverage.
Good coverage, but it's also good kicking. Getting the ball up high enough that your coverage can get under it.
There's the guy that made the stop, Mike Sullivan. They call him an old junkyard dog. He just kind of hangs around, is always in the right place. He's not real big. He's 6 foot 241. I mean, that's big, but for a nose guard, that's not exceptionally big.
He's an emotional player, and I think sometimes you can measure attitude and emotion and desire better in special teams than you can on defense.
4:10 to go in the third quarter. We have a new quarterback in the ball game. Bill Schaar has now come in. He's a sophomore, number 19, and that's a bad way to start the football game. He slips and falls, and from the backside, pressure coming. It is Michael McCray again, and what a game he's playing. This guy, Schaar, from Canadaga, New York, they feel is the best pure passer they've ever had at Syracuse. And he threw 2 passes last week, completed 2. One of them was a 17-yard touchdown pass. They have high hopes for him. He was a prep All-American. But boy, this is a tough situation to come into.
It is. You know, last week, right in the first play, he goes in, they had a fumble. You know, he's snake bitten right now.
Yeah, well, he lost on that play, 8 yards, 2nd and 18. Johnston and Owens now, the running backs behind Bill Schaar in relief of Todd Philcox. Catch-up football now by Syracuse. Schaar back, setting up over the middle. Davis, he catches this one. Davis hanging on, still short of the first down. They have still about 10 yards to go for it. So Davis kind of redeeming himself in some ways for that drop pass earlier. John Sullivan up to make the stop.
But as you said, he is supposed to be the best pure passer, though not throwing the ball like we saw yesterday on the practice field as well as he normally does because he's having a back problem. Now he's reading the plays. There it is. There's no way to make a mistake on that one. And he's a good student.
Does that bother you if you're a team standing in a huddle, you guys reading the plays off his wrist?
Scare me to death. But he knows what he's doing.
Third down 10. Jars had some back problems, which has also precipitated some elbow difficulty. He's scrambling up, throwing up the field, and the ball is caught. Rolling incomplete at the 41. Rob Moore tried to come up with it. Just a little bit short. Moore couldn't get back to the football, and that'll bring up fourth down. And Cooper Gardner will come in and kick the football. Char said he hurt his elbow because he was favoring the back, and that can happen sometimes.
Yeah, actually his elbow was black and blue in the practice field, and as you say, overcompensating from the back problem.
So Gardner will punt this one inside his own 10. This is Vince Workman back for Ohio State. 23-6 in favor of the Buckeyes. 2.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. It's been all Buckeyes in the second half. Featherhoff to snap the ball. And he hit a beauty. Did he ever? Beautiful punt.
It's a little low, though. You'd like to get it up in the air a little higher. It's more of a return ball.
Here's Workman up to the 40 and dropped at the 42.
See, Gary, if the ball doesn't get any higher than that, you put a lot of pressure on the coverage people. And to cover that kind of punt, you have to have perfect coverage lanes. That time the lanes weren't perfect and the punt was a little low.
Had a 48-yarder, but as you said, did not get it up all that high. So Fry will come in. Good field position again for the Buckeyes at the 42. So now they have started from the 50. They're 47 in the second half. One turnover setting up one of those touchdowns. They have had good field position all game long. The worst field position they've had is their own 20-yard line. Back to throw Fry. And picked up, and that would have turned things around.
Freiberg had one.
Boy, would that change things.
It would have.
Sigenthaler, the intended receiver, and Keith Freiberg, who was sensational last week against Temple. He was on the ECAC honor roll for his play.
Up stance, offense. Hey, they're going to throw the football. Now he throws the ball off to the left side of your screen. There goes Freiberg. Now you can see why here he is a senior as a linebacker, and I don't believe he has an interception to his career. Maybe he just doesn't have the pause, right?
Well, from Staten Island, New York. Third year as a starter. They think he's a complete linebacker. Had a great spring, probably as good a spring as he's had, but he'd sure like to have that one back. Second down, 10. Fry to throw again, far side. It's complete. Bernard Edwards, and Edwards across the 50 to the 49, a couple of yards short of the first down. Busey and Chris Ingram over to make the stop. Edwards is 6'5", and Bernard Edwards, kind of an interesting story, Dick. He's wearing a couple of sweatbands, black sweatbands.
One of them's the black one. The black one, he lost a very close friend in an auto accident last week in Florida. And you'll notice the black armband on his left arm. And he asked us to just mention that and make the audience know and the friends back in Florida that he's really very sorry.
It's an automobile accident happening to a young friend of his driving to the Orange Bowl to see the Florida State-Miami game. Anyway, third down, a yard to go. Fry in trouble, and he is dropped for a loss, and that is James Wentworth, a freshman redshirt. Haven't seen a lot of him, but number 77 was there.
The thing was that the coverage took away the pattern. He wanted to throw left, the coverage rolled up into him, couldn't throw it, he turned to the right, and by the time he tried to relocate another receiver, here comes Wentworth getting his first sack of the year.
Well, that's the best defensive effort now, the second half by Syracuse.
It shows you they're not giving up, and that's why I think Coach Mack over on the other side was getting after him. Coach McPherson was really letting him know, hey, let's get after him.
Jeff Bowman punts this one away. Ingram will take it at the 22. Boy, they've deployed well defensively, and they're going to get it. No place to go. You talked about having position on that. Mike McCray was there to come up with the stop. 38-yard punt. Let's go to New York. Here's Al Troutwig.
Back and forth they go in Palo Alto. First, USC charging back to take the lead on a 9-yard touchdown run by Aaron Emanuel, his second touchdown of the game. It was 17-13 USC. But moments after that, Stanford came back as Brian Johnson fires his second touchdown pass to Henry Green, 19 yards. And it's 20-13, Stanford in front with 27 seconds to go in the third. Gary?
All right, Al, thank you. After the punt, Syracuse has it at the 20. Boy, Stanford's playing tough, aren't they? Here's the option by Shar. He pitches it back to Drummond. Drummond to the 25. Again, running the option to the short side of the field, picking up about 5 yards on the play.
Drummond made his own tackle that time and making the wrong decision. He went outside the man standing on the sideline. And he had plenty of room to break it up. Just a bad decision that time. But there was room inside.
There are moments when Syracuse looks like they're going to make the big play. Remember the one? Davis drops the right. They've had a couple of fine runs, but haven't been able to finish it off. Right now, they have a second down, 5 yards from the 25-yard line. Glover and Moore split out. High formation backfield behind Bill Shar, who's replaced Philcox. Todd Philcox at the quarterback spot. Rolling out, Shar throws. Johnson can't hang on. He ran into McCray, and McCray's been all over the place.
He has been.
One guy that's been outstanding. It's been number 99.
Ohio State flops all their defensive personnel according to field. You know, with a hash mark situation as they are in college, and it would be tough for a quarterback to try to work away from somebody. But I'll tell you, I can't find out where they all are.
I tell you, if you could find out where McCray is, you'd try to go the other way, wouldn't you?
I know it.
Rich Frimmel now is coming to the ball game, a true freshman. And also Vincent Clark comes in as a nickelback on a 3rd and 5. Glover split out. Dwayne Kennan now has come in. He split out. Also Rob Moore. Shard like to keep this one going. Setting up at the 15. Going up the field. Kennan can't make the catch. Thrown to the outside. He couldn't get back to it. Dwight Smith defending on the play, and it's 4th down.
You know, Gary, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ohio State go to the Buddy Ryan 46 defense as a change-up once in a while, because young Rob Ryan, Buddy Ryan's son, is a graduate assistant here working with the linebackers. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Well, how about on the other side? Joel Collier. The Denver Broncos defensive coordinator, is a graduate assistant for Syracuse.
No wonder these teams play good defense, getting all that extra help.
Some good bloodlines, huh?
Yeah, you bet.
4th down now. Gardner to punt. Workman is back. Oh, again, this he didn't get all of it, but he's going to get a nice roll. Very nice roll. Inside the 25. Bounces inside the 15. And that's going to come away, and the box scores a long kick.
That was a dandy. A lousy punt, but a great, you know, it's like when you get up there with a pitching wedge, right? You miss it, roll it up there, and it drops in the hole.
64-yarder. Wasn't pretty, but it was effective, and that's one of the few things Dick McPherson has had going for him in the second half of play. This is the poorest field position Ohio State has had in this football game.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Norm Gerber, the defensive coordinator for Syracuse now, come after him a little bit down here and try to create the negative play. Keep him down here. So they've got him where they want him. If they keep him there, then they get the ball back at about the 50, playing on a shorter field.
19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Syracuse has had such bad field positions. This is the first time they've got Ohio State backed up at all. Here comes Snow, and Snow may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Busey was over there and tripped him up. And so we're going to come to the end of this 3rd quarter as Ohio State adding 6 points to their cause here in this 3rd quarter on 2 Pat O'Maro field goals. 23-6 after 3 quarters. ABC's college football will return after this commercial and a word from our local station. We're 15 minutes away from his first victory at Ohio State. 23-6 his advantage, adding 6 points via the field goal in that 3rd quarter as we began the 4th. 2nd down, 11 for the Buckeyes from their own 11. Matlock and Workman, the running backs. Behind Greg Fry. Fry wants to throw. It's Ellis again, and Ellis having a banner day. Catches that ball at the 20, an 8-yard pickup. David Bavaro has made a lot of tackles for the Orangemen. Made the stop. When you get up to Ellis, I'm not sure you want to tackle him. He is a load, isn't he, when he gets the ball?
Well, this action freezes both of these linebackers. They step up acknowledging run, then they sprint out of there as quick as they can. Now they sprint out of there. Now the tight end's coming across underneath. There he is, wide open. There it is. Now he's almost not going to have the ball in possession before he goes out of bounds.
Again, his daddy, Jimmy Ellis, the former heavyweight champion of the world. Pretty good athletes in that family. They give it 3rd and 2 now from the 20-yard line. Fry back to throw from the 10. Look out, shovels it forward to Workman, and that'll be an incomplete pass. Flag on the play right around where Fry was hemmed in by Whitworth and Bavaro. something didn't develop on that at all.
Well, the coverage took away the pattern downfield. He had no place to go with the ball. He knew where he wanted to go, but they had him covered. He wasn't going to throw it. And like Cooper says, I don't mind throwing the ball as long as we throw it to the right person.
If you ever wonder on that little shovel like that, that is a forward pass. It's not a fumble in any stretch of the imagination if you're wondering why they didn't try to get on the ball.
Holding on the offense. Decline.
Well, they'll decline it because it'll bring up 4th down, and Bowman will come back in a punt.
2 series in a row that Syracuse has played good defense. If they can muster up some kind of a drive now, they can get back in this ball game.
Well, and this looks like going to be a great field position for him. Ingram back at the 45 of Syracuse. Big rush. They hold up at the last moment, afraid they're going to rough him. Picked up by Ingram at the 35. Gets a block at the 40. Slips, and we've had a lot of that. At the 42, the Orangemen will have it. 23-6, Syracuse trailing. 14:37 to go in this game.
We help protect your plans and dreams. Our agents are the key. Together we make America work. We're USF&G. From the mountains, ledge to the ocean's edge, we ensure you every day. We protect what America's made of. We cover the USA.
When you ride the red line, you need new world-class Haviland Superior Grade, the performance-proven motor oil that keeps your engine cleaner and delivers superior heat stress protection. New Haviland Superior Grade, cool under fire.
This man once had a heart attack. Since then, his doctor prescribed exercise, the right foods, and Bayer aspirin. Studies show aspirin can help prevent a second heart attack. Ask your doctor.
I love you, Dad.
Bayer, the wonder drug that works wonders.
At Syracuse University's Institute for Sensory Research, a leading center in the study of vision, hearing, and touch, an innovative eye chart is revolutionizing the detection of eye disease. The Pelley-Robson chart utilizes variations in contrast sensitivity to diagnose vision problems before they can progress. Soon to find international use, the new chart is only one result of the world-class research being done at Syracuse. Syracuse University. We have the future in minds.
We have a quick check on baseball's American League East. Behind a Roger Clemens one-hitter, Boston shuts out Cleveland. Meanwhile, the Yankees score 7 straight runs to beat Detroit. The Tigers have lost 16 of 19. And so in the American League East, Boston leads Detroit by 3.5. The Yankees one behind them. Gary?
Well, Al, those Red Sox starting to get a little breathing room right now, that 3.5-game lead.
Did I notice you getting a little excited about that?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing the American League Championship Series. Looks like Oakland with their magic number 11 at the start of the day, waiting on somebody to capture that American League East. 42-yard line, and back in the ball game is Phil Cox at quarterback. He gives off to Owens. Owens trying to get to the outside, got it at the 50, and does a very good job of advancing the ball to the 47 of Ohio State. Dwight Smith eventually over there to make the stop. So Phil Cox comes back in. Bill Schaar couldn't get him going on 2 different series. So the veteran, who's in graduate school, will come back in and run this team at quarterback.
He's working on his MBA. That shows you what the little fella Owens adds to the offense in terms of nothing at the point of attack, looks backside, nothing. He has enough quickness to get all the way around the outside and head upfield for the positive gain.
Well, McPherson said he can give us a big play at any time, and I can see why he said that. First down 10 now at the 47 of Ohio State. McKinnon comes in motion, back to throw, Phil Cox. Over the middle, broken up. He was headed for Moore, and Benio was there. Rob Moore was wide open, and Benio reached in and prevented what would have been a long gain.
That would have been the second interception. Benio was right where he had to be in the discipline of the defense. 91 right hand corner of your screen. Brian dropping out of there. No pressure on the quarterback. He throws the ball right where he wants to throw it. Benio was watching the quarterback's eyes, moves back in, and almost has. Now look at his hand. See, his left hand is all taped up. He has a bad finger. See it right there? He's saying, oh, if I didn't have this thing on my hand, I'd be a hero right now. My girlfriend would like me tonight. Everything would be super.
Second down 10 now. Line of scrimmage, 47 Ohio State. 14:21 left to go. Phil Cox, deep drop, trying to set up a screen, and it was not well done. Johnston ran into Bednarz, his offensive guard. They were standing shoulder to shoulder, and Johnston tried to reach around Bednarz, who's 292 pounds.
Look at the size of that guy. You know what his nickname is? The kids in the team call him Blockhead, just because he's got such a large head and great big shoulders. He walks around, he looks like a big block.
They say he's a spiritual and emotional leader. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going to call him Blockhead.
No, I know this, but, you know, he was a National Honor Society student in high school, so he's no dummy, this guy.
That's right.
He's just big.
3rd down, 10. That screen just didn't get underway at all. Davis comes in motion. Bill Cox straight back. Excellent protection. Lots of time. Moore, he got it. He was hit hard by Dwight Smith, but he held on. That's good concentration.
Did a real good job. They gave him a lot of time, and it just shows you if you get time to throw the ball. Here he is, Moore, left-hand side of your screen, working down inside the zone. He's pushed back inside. Now he's working back up. Now see all the time he has just to fool around. There he is, settling in the zone. Boom, 1st down.
He may have been fooling around, but all of a sudden Smith ended that fooling around, didn't he?
I think they better come after him with that 46 defense right now and give him a little pressure. They call it the Ohio defense.
That was a 17-yard pickup to the 30-yard line. Dwayne Kennan now has come into the split receiver position. Phil Cox back again, throwing far side. Glover's down there, up, and Glover had it for a moment. Dumas contesting the ball. I thought maybe Glover would come down with it.
It looked like he was going to come down with it at the end of the play on his back with the ball in his stomach, Gary. Here he is, top side of your screen, coming downfield. Now he's working on Zach Dumas, 21. He turns the inside. He's looking back at the quarterback. They're both going to go for the ball. The highest point. Les Hughes gets it. Hey, nobody gets it. Pretty good job by the defense. If that ball had been thrown longer and deeper, I think he'd had a chance to run under it because he knew it was going to be thrown short. He was looking back all the time.
What shows you in that replay is Dumas came closer to catch it than Glover did. 2nd down, 10. Just short of the 30-yard line. Flannery, the center, snaps it to Phil Cox. The late handoff to Owens. Owens trying to bend it out, break it back. 2 to the 30. Too fancy?
Yeah, too drastic a cut that time. He saw a little hole, and he didn't like it. He tried to get all the way outside the rush. Ohio State has switched from the 3-man rush now, Gary, to the 4-man rush. They know that Syracuse is going to be throwing the ball. They've got 4 people coming after them now. A little more heat.
Guess who made the stop again? Michael McCray. Remember the name. He is going to be on a lot of postseason honor roll teams. I think sometimes when you get way behind like that, in the back of his mind thinks he has to make it happen every play.
Looking for the big one.
Yep, and got a little greedy that time. 3rd down, 10 from the 30-yard line. Bill Cox, pressure coming from the inside, rolls around, stays on his feet somehow, throws the ball to Johnston. Johnson fumbles it, but I think Syracuse will have it by 1st down on the fumble. What a scramble play that was. Bill Cox remarkably threw it to Johnston. Rob Moore recovered it. It's a 1st down.
Do you think he threw it to him, or did he fumble it to him? I'll tell you, you're a positive guy. Here he is. Gets back. Here comes the rush right up the inside. Here's old Shereko. He's back in there again. His leg is not hurt. Zizakovic. Boom! Zach Dumas gives him a pop. The ball goes forward. Rob Brown, number 14, picks it up for the 1st down.
That is a big play.
You bet.
That is a big play. On 3rd and 10, they get it.
It isn't all execution, is it?
Nope. Just short of the 15. Phil Cox on the option. Sends something to throw. Davis can't get it. That would have been a tough catch.
Good call. He had to put it out in front of him. Getting pressure.
David Brown defending on the play, but Davis tried to climb up to come to it.
Yeah.
But that would have been an amazing catch had he been able to do that.
If he had broken to the corner and they put the ball out in front of him, he'd have had it. It's nice to see that Zizakovic is not hurt and he's able to go back into the play. See, I can say it, Bender. You're laughing at me.
I'm not laughing. I just know how hard you worked on it. 2nd down, 10 now, just short of the 15-yard line. One thing about Syracuse, they're keeping it interesting, aren't they?
You bet.
Glover split to the near side. 23-6 in favor of Ohio State. Bill Cox gives out to Owens. Owens scampers to about the 11-yard line. Good movement the left side of that line.
Boy, that Daryl Johnston does block. Like, you read the articles about him, you listen to the coaches, they say, boy, this guy can block. That time he did a real nice job on the kick-out block. number 32, Daryl Johnston.
They think that Johnston, maybe his career in the NFL would be a zoom tight end just because of his
In a
ability.
one-back attack, yeah, the one-back attack tight end. I don't know. He looks pretty good at fullback right now.
Anyway, it's 3rd down, 5 at the 11-yard line. Syracuse gets in here, game changes.
You got to think you got 2 downs to make the 1st down right here.
4 split out to the top, to the near side. Glover.
Here's that 46 look. Here they're coming with it.
Rolling out, Phil Cox in trouble and dropped. Beautiful play by Jim Peel. Well, the 46, the Oklahoma, whatever you call it, it definitely worked for Ohio State.
Here you go. You can see that they've covered the inside of the defense. 3 people covering the down lineman inside. Walk the backers in. Tough to pick them up now. They're going to have too many people up the center. A version of the 46 defense. Old Rob Ryan's going to be excited about that. I don't know where he is on the sideline, but I know he's jumping up and down.
Not to mention Buddy Ryan. This will be a 38-yard attempt now by Green. Phil Cox to hold. So they have to settle for the field goal. Green's kick is on the way. And this kick is good. So Green has missed only 1 today. He's able to nail that one. It's now 23-9, 10:50 left in the 4th quarter.
What gives you lots of hot water the lowest cost way?
Nothing does it like gas.
What lets you wash for less money to save every day?
Nothing does it like gas.
What heats water so efficiently it's half the cost of electricity?
Nothing does it, no, nothing does it like gas.
And if you're beyond gas service, use propane.
For hot water, for cooking, home heating, or drying.
Choose gas, America's best energy value.
Over the years, many cars have rolled across the drawing board of cartoonist Carl Urbano. Still, Mr. Urbano's favorite car is a Honda. He and his family own 10 Hondas in all. So you might say, Honda has helped draw the family together.
It's a dynamite doubleheader. First, Notre Dame tackles Michigan State. Then the Miami Hurricanes roar into Michigan. All next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
The 4th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners are 15-0 versus teams from the ACC. Stand by to make it 16. They've scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions and lead North Carolina 21-0 in the 2nd quarter. Back to Columbus we go. Gary?
23-9 Syracuse with their 3rd field goal of the game. Green 3 of 4. The last 2 times, Dick Vermeil, Ohio State hasn't done anything with the football. So Syracuse, wanting the touchdown, had to settle for 3, and with 10:50, they're still thinking they can win this game.
Well, they've shut them down. They really have shut them down. They've gotten the ball back quickly, too, and that's just as important as shutting them down. Get the ball back, give it to your offense.
Hicks and Workman go back now. There's that last drive, the 38-yard field goal. So Green this time is going to kick it out of bounds, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Well, while they re-kick, let's go down to Becky Dixon.
Gary, like all college football coaches, John Cooper has had a number of very important decisions to make in recent weeks. But unlike most coaches, one of his biggest decisions was what hat to wear on the field. The hats play a very important role here at Ohio State. All of you remember this one. Like most things around here, Woody Hayes got it all started with this hat with the little O. Then along came Earl Bruce. Now he chose a cap, then he later went to this fedora. To me, this is pretty ominous looking, and John Cooper said, no, this really wasn't him either. But now, it is the John Cooper era here at Ohio State, and he chose this cap. I think the fans here like this one. It says OSU. And you know, when you think about it, John Cooper is not foreign to wearing hats. He wore one at Tulsa, also at Arizona State. And Gary, he's been so successful, and even here today, I think maybe he's had a few tricks under these hats.
Well, what I want to know is why you didn't put the fedora on. You tried the other 2 on.
Didn't look good on me.
Okay, Becky, thanks. So the 5-yard penalty now back at the 30-yard line. You realize that Ohio State has not committed any penalties in this football game? That's amazing for a guy in his first game at Ohio State, or any school for that matter.
It shows you that the mental side, the concentration mentally side of their program is where he wants it to be. Maybe not technique-wise, fundamentally-wise, strength-wise, but the mental side is there.
Green will kick it off. It'll be Workman who will return it. Up to the 30, and Workman struggles forward to the 34-yard line. Well, Monday night, the Valley of the Sun. Phoenix is going to be very excited as they have their first regular season home game, playing host to the Dallas Cowboys. Two very bitter rivals going against each other. However, two good friends as well. Gene Stallings, a former assistant coach of Tom Landry. Landry, of course, a team who lost a tough one last week against Pittsburgh.
Well, I'll tell you, who else lost a tough one was Phoenix.
Yeah, well, they got inside.
You have to give Cincinnati credit, but normally you'd win that game.
They had it on the first drive, Dick. First and goal at the 1. Tried 4 times to get it in and couldn't. Line of scrimmage now, the 34-yard line. See if Ohio State can get something going. Madlock just moves the pile forward that time, and he's been doing that all afternoon long. Bob Burnett was there first.
Little step around trap up inside. They've got to create the turnover. They've got to go up there and shake something up. Get that ball back. If these people are allowed to set on them right now, I mean, just allowed to pound away at them, they're really in trouble.
Notice when they didn't get things going well, they went back to the guy who's been very consistent today, number 11.
Yeah.
That's Matlock.
I expected to see a couple of the other fullbacks play. You know, that's what we were told. He must be pleased with his performance.
George Cooper was the starter a year ago, did such a good job, and Matlock now the guy with Graham and James Bryant backing him up. Fry giving off the snow. He comes bursting through on his feet. He's to the 40 and dropped there. Marcus Paul finally caught him. Exciting little guy, isn't he? 5'9", 200 pounds. He started the final 3 games for Ohio State last year. Now in a backup role, and really not minding it. He's learning a lot from Vince Workman.
Boy, again, the key to the whole play was number 11. Matlock's block right up inside on David Bavaro. He opened it up. Now this guy just keeps his feet moving. Upfield he goes.
He made a big play last year in that Michigan victory. He had a 70-yard catch that really gave Ohio State what they needed in Earle Bruce's final game. First down now at the 42. Matlock, and inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Bring up second down. Well, Ohio State has the 3rd toughest schedule in the country. That was just released this week. Kentucky was first.
LSU second.
That's right, and LSU will be one of the teams Ohio State will play. So you look at Pittsburgh next week for these guys, and they come home against LSU, who really was impressive against A&M.
They are a good football team. I was fortunate enough to do the Gator Bowl last year and see them beat South Carolina. They're a good football team.
Mike Archer really works hard. Reminds me a lot of you how hard he works. Gain of 4 in that last play. 2nd and 6. Scotty Graham now is the fullback. This is Snow with the football. Runs into some congestion that time. Didn't get a lot. It's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Good linebacker play. Gosh, that David Bavaro has. I mean, he is. We're not mentioning his name because he's somebody's brother, but this guy plays football.
All over the place, isn't he?
Oh, he stepped up there and took those people on, stuffed it, went in and made the play.
Well, not only did Mark, his brother, play in the NFL, we understand his dad also played for the 49ers.
1960 and 61. You know, I was out coaching high school football at that time. I got to see the 49ers play once in a while.
So here's a 3rd down coming up as Olive and Workman come into the game. Cook and Snow will lead. 8:06 left in the game. 23-9 in favor of the Buckeyes. Line of scrimmage, the 37.5. 3rd down. Olive comes in, makes the catch, got 4, 25, 20. Still on his feet and knocked out of bounds at the 18. So they bring Olive in with the play, and it works.
They made the commitment that time to come after him with some people, rushing people. Here he is, the right-hand side of your screen. Focus your attention. Bobby Olive coming off. Notice nobody underneath him. A little hitch pass. Now you're one-on-one. If you don't make that tackle, Chris Ingram, number 24, misses that tackle. Oh, takes a while for everybody to get off their man-to-man coverage and get over there and make the play.
Finally, Marcus Paul is able to get him out of the field of play at the 18-yard line. So that 3rd down coming from the sideline. They brought it in by both Workman and Olive, and they called the right thing. Edwards now comes in at a wide receiver, along with Sigenthaler, Snow, and Graham in the backfield. 18-yard line, 1st down. Snow for a couple of yards, and that's all. And Markram and Bavaro again on the stop for Syracuse. Syracuse has a week off before they play Virginia Tech. Last year, in that magnificent year that Dick McPherson had, they beat Penn State for the first time in 17 years. Won the Lambert Trophy for the first time since 1966. We felt they were very well coached last week, and in this game, even though they're down 23-9, there's been some good moments.
It's been the field position, turnover factor, and the bad quick kick has put them in the hole. They're a good football team.
2nd down and 8 now for the Scarlet and Gray. Graham, Scotty Graham, takes it inside the 15 to the 13. Graham is a redshirt freshman out of Long Beach, New York. James Wentworth made the stop. Graham is a big, stocky guy, 5'10", 215 pounds, converted tailback.
Right.
High school All-American.
You know who did a nice job on that play was the big offensive guard, number 50, Jeff Davison. Electrical engineering student. He knows what he's doing. He pulled around, worked up in the hole, and got the linebacker and gave him that cushion he needed for the good game.
3rd down again. 3rd and 5 this time for the Buckeyes. Fry gives off to Snow, and Snow's not going to get it. Good reaction by Wentworth. Wentworth playing a lot in this second half, and they're going to see a lot of number 77.
A redshirt freshman. He's got a long time to play. He's limping right now, looking for someone to get him out of there. But he's made a number of plays, as you said.
So it's going to bring up a 4th down. Thus far in the ball game, O'Mara's kicked a 27-yard field goal, a 33, and a 41-yarder.
Now this kid, as he limps off, you know, he was an outstanding high school baseball player. He had 3 home runs in one game one time. That's more than you ever had, isn't it, Gary?
You know how to hurt a guy. You talk about my golf game, now you talk about my baseball game. Leave me something, will you? This will be a 30-yard field goal attempt. Holding is Powell. The kick is high, and the kick is good, and this guy looks like he's going to be the answer in the field goal kicking department. So O'Mara adding yet another, his 3rd of the second half. So they get those 3 points back. 26-9 with 5:36 left to go in this game. Now let's look at the preset condition of O'Mara. Now look how he points.
That scares me when they go through all that kind of stuff. It really does. Holy mackerel. Plus, he also said he likes to kick those in, you know. It's a good kick. You got to give him credit.
You don't like those kickers? You don't talk to them, huh?
I just don't like all those extra techniques.
Okay, we'll be back.
Alex will now do his famous dog impersonations. Ready, Alex?
Rin Tin Tin.
Right.
Hey, look at this. Benji. Stro Light. Fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste. Who's that?
Beats me.
For every man who wears Brute deodorant, there's a woman who'll always be glad that he did. Because a man who wears Brute deodorant is nice to be close to. Brute. It smells like a man.
Great.
Excuse me, Mr. Palmer, about this Arnie's Caddy giveaway? Pennzoil's giving away 50 new 89 Cadillac sedan DeVilles. I just mail in entry forms from Quality Pennzoil? Wow. 50? 50!
Arnie's Caddy Giveaway. Enter today.
On their vacation, they had everything planned. Everything except this. So don't carry cash. Carry American Express traveler's checks. Don't leave home without them.
You're so good at this.
What's the new girl like? Use your imagination.
Date rape Thursday.
Well, we've had a lot of field goals today. We've had a lot of football, and it's 26-9 in favor of Ohio State. Buckeyes will be kicking off tomorrow to tee it up at the 35. As going back deep now will be Greg Walker. He'll be joined by Michael Owens. Sun now has settled behind the stands in the west. Field completely covered now in shadow. It's just been a gorgeous day for football, and I think John Cooper will remember this debut.
Oh, gosh.
What'd you do in your first game at UCLA?
Tied Tennessee 17-17 in Tennessee.
That's a tough place to win, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
This will be Walker. He'll bring it up to the 20, 25, 30. And there is a flag.
He got clipped.
So at the 30, if it stays there, that's where Syracuse will set it up. Tom Quinn is, you probably noticed, wearing the white hat. It's a change they have made this year. There's the clip.
They made the change. They put the hat on those, but you know they still don't put their names on the back of those jerseys. They want to be able to get through that airport.
Well, in the NFL, they put their numbers on it.
Yeah. Sometimes I thought it was their IQ. Yeah.
We have clipping on the return by the receiving team, half the distance to the goal line.
You better not take a job in the NFL now after that comment. We're going to pick it up now on our replay.
Coming from the right-hand corner of your screen, 89C, climbing right up the back. Cannot help but call that one. We saw that from right up here.
Terry Doherty was the guy that was guilty.
Doherty's the backup tight end.
From the 13-yard line, McPherson, that's a grimace, not a smile. Back to throw now, Philcox. And he threw that one well. Fine catch is made by Davis. 8-yard pickup on the play. Remind everybody, near the conclusion of this college football broadcast, we'll be participating in an 18-year tradition, selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each of the teams, and Chevrolet will donate a $1,000 scholarship in each player's name to each school to further assist qualified students in the pursuit of excellence in all chosen fields. Back to throw again, Philcox, and wide open. Catch by Glover, still on his feet. Glover all the way out to the 49-yard line. And just very quickly now, Syracuse is on the move.
They're in the hurry offense where they're lining up right now.
Tackled by Dwight Smith.
4:55. They have all three of their timeouts remaining. They have to move the chains.
You know, Todd Philcox, high school coach, has been waiting 4 years to watch his kid play in his 5th year. Jim Maselli at Norwalk High School in Connecticut. I bet he's excited and happy for the young man. Uh-oh.
Now we have a penalty, an eligible man downfield. I did not see the flag.
Neither did I.
So that'll bring it back. Boy, that hurt because they picked up a big chunk of real estate that time, all the way out to the 49-yard line.
Coach McPherson said this Philcox kid can play. He says he can play, but I had a quarterback in McPherson. If he was at Oklahoma, he could run the wishbone. If he was at BYU, he could throw the pure pro drop back game. I had to go with him. He was too good.
It's not been a happy day for this guy, McPherson. 8th year as a head coach, 3rd coach in the history of Syracuse to win 40 games. He won last week, giving him 42 in his career. As we said, they came in here with the longest unbeaten streak in the country at 14. Miami is next with 13. And Miami may finish unbeaten the way they're going.
Too early.
Too early. Next week, they got to play Michigan. Game you'll see here on ABC. Boy, they look good, though, didn't they?
Oh.
Okay, the penalty now. Brings up 2nd down. Philcox back in trouble. Run for a loss back at the 10. Good pressure from Ken Coleman, number 92, out of Meadowdale High School in Dayton.
Ken Coleman is the quickest defensive lineman of the group. Now, he can rush the pass all right, but also involved was John Krzyzewski. Here you'll see Coleman coming at the top, number 92, right center of your screen.
Well, I didn't see, but you did anyway.
No, I looked over here at one of these 3 monitors sitting here to my right.
All right, Coach. You see a lot out there. Philcox throws to Johnston. Just keep seeing it, will you? Yeah. He makes the catch at the 15-yard line, and Johnston hangs on, but still going to bring up 4th down. May have another penalty flag, however, back inside the 5-yard line. So a game that was really relatively penalty-free, now starting to have a lot of them. That'll be holding against Syracuse.
You get a little tired, lose your concentration a little bit. You know, when you lose your concentration, you don't only lose it mentally in terms of assignment, in terms of technique as well. And then you start grabbing, you know, maybe not setting quite as quick.
Andy Gerd, having the option explained to him. This reminder now, later today from the Rose Bowl. Look forward to watching that one. UCLA and Nebraska, 8 o'clock Eastern.
We have holding on the offense. It's declined. 4th down.
You know, Coach Osborne told me last year after the UCLA game, Tom Osborne of Nebraska, he said, you know, Dick, we beat them. He said, but I wouldn't want to play them again.
Well, they came back in that game late, remember?
Yes, they did. Came back strong. I think it's going to be a barn burner in the Rose Bowl.
Well, the thing that UCLA's had trouble with is physically playing with them. Now, do you think they're bigger, stronger, where they can do that now?
I don't think they're any bigger or stronger. I think playing at home is an advantage, and having Aiken as the quarterback is an advantage. And if your receivers, they're not the gifted guys with the great speed and all that. If they can just make, do the good discipline things you have to do to execute the offense, it'll be a heck of a football game. Plus UCLA's good defense.
Boy, the last time they were in the Rose Bowl was a long afternoon, like 42-3 or something like that.
The last time, I'll tell you, okay, I'll ask, who was the winning quarterback the last time UCLA beat Nebraska?
I know the answer to that. He's an actor today.
Mark Harmon.
That's right. Actor, of course, the son of Tom Harmon.
Right, that's right.
Who else was that? That was Pepper Rogers.
Pepper Rogers running the wishbone.
Yep. Mark Harmon.
1973.
He didn't continue his playing career, but he's certainly done well, right?
Making a little more money in it.
Here's a punt now by Gardner. Workman racing over there, lets it hit, and they're going to get a Syracuse bounce.
Never let the ball roll like that. Go take that thing and get going.
Well, it goes out of bounds at the 27. 3:37 to go. 26-9, Ohio State.
While researching future car designs, Honda engineers developed a new driving concept, an environment that balances the perception of speed with comfort and control. Researched and developed. The new Honda Prelude SI.
If you used to take capsules, the makers of Tylenol have just come up with something better. New extra-strength Tylenol gel caps. They're gelatin-coated, and compared to capsules, gel caps are 33% smaller, with all that extra-strength pain relief concentrated into a solid center under a smooth gelatin coating. So gel caps are actually easier to swallow. If you used to take capsules, try new extra-strength Tylenol gel caps. It's not a capsule, it's better.
Tonight, two of the nation's top teams meet when the Nebraska Cornhuskers tackle Troy Aikman and the UCLA Bruins as ABC's college football continues tonight.
3:37 to go. Gary Bender and Dick Vermeil. Glad to have you with us as we kick off another 1988 season. Dick and I will be in East Lansing next week for Notre Dame, Michigan State. Keith Jackson and Bob Greasy will be ready for that Miami-Michigan game. A lot of good football games, and in 2 weeks we'll be back here for LSU, Ohio State. New quarterback now, John Waggoner for Ohio State. Waggoner out of High Point, North Carolina. Was a wide receiver at the end of last year and comes in for Fry. What a job Greg Fry did.
You know, he had been a quarterback before, too, I think, though. And moved back to the quarterback position this year to be the backup guy.
That's exactly right. By the way, on Fry, his numbers for the day, 12 of 17, 141 yards and a touchdown.
And no interceptions.
And I just thought his poise was everything that you would ever want in a first game.
Exceptionally good job.
So Waggoner is in the game, 6'3", 207. And John Spencer has now come into the backfield. He is the brother of Tim Spencer, the standout several years ago for Ohio State. That last play, a gain of 2, second down 8. So John Cooper looking at some new people. And this is Spencer, who we just mentioned, and he brings it out to the 33. And Griffin makes the stop. Let's go to New York. Here's Al.
Well, Gary, there was only 1 minute, 19 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter when Rodney Peete, the Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback for the USC Trojans, tossed a 10-yard touchdown pass to John Jackson. And right now, with the seconds ticking down, it's the Trojans over the Cardinal by 4. Back to you.
Boy, Al, the Pac-10's going to be something, isn't it? Washington State clobbered Illinois, and you see USC now is 2-0. We'll wait to see what UCLA does after an impressive win last week against San Diego State.
You know, I had the opportunity to coach in that game, the USC-Stanford series, 4 times as an assistant coach. And there were a couple times we had them beat. And I can remember one time a fumbled snap on a field goal attempt that Steve Soggy picks it up and throws some kind of a scramble pass out and beats us on it. That's a heck of a series over the years.
Isn't it amazing how you remember all those things?
I tell you, just when we were talking about that, that started coming back on mine.
Guy shaking up is Terry Wooden, but he'll go off.
Boy, he's played well. Played very well.
Well,
it's a good football team.
What we have now, the line of scrimmage, the 33-yard line, with 2:46 left in the game. Brian LeBaron comes in. You know, the Pac-10, what's so interesting about it is, as you look at Fry, and I think Fry is going to get my vote as the MVP. I'll wait on you. I'm not putting any pressure on you.
You've got it. You know, you've got it. You've got it.
What I start to say is, you look at the Pac-10, Dick Tomey's team winning at Oregon State. Arizona's going to be very tough. Don't know what Arizona State will do. Larry Marmee replacing John Cooper at Arizona State. Washington thinks they're going to be a lot better, and you know all about UCLA and USC, and Stanford gave the Trojans a battle.
And Oregon was winning when we saw the score flashbacks here.
A lot of people think they're the sleeper.
Really?
In the Pac-10. Rich Brooks does such a good job at Oregon.
Does a very fine job.
From the 33 now on a 3rd down and 5. This is James Bryant, the third fullback to be used, and he advances to the 40. That's the first down. Marcus Ball made the stop. Well, coming into this series, Ohio State led it 2-1. Their first meeting was way back in 1911. Their last meeting in 1980. They've all been played here in Columbus. They will play in Syracuse, however, in 1992.
It's fun to play in that Carrier Dome. I took a pro football team in there and played a preseason game one day. I remember it because we won. Probably that's why I liked it. But it was a fun place to play.
At the 40 now, Ohio State with 2:20 and the clock ticking away. And John Cooper's debut is going to be a successful one. Mark Hicks and Bernard Edwards split out. Wagner giving straight ahead, and James Bryant, the junior out of Harrisonburg, Pennsylvania, made the stop. We talked about Harrisburg. I'm sorry. Started to talk a while ago about how tough the schedule is for Ohio State. Look at this. At Pitt, Mike Gottfried's team. LSU, Mike Archer will come in here. John Makovic now at Illinois. They got to go at Indiana, at Minnesota, at Michigan State, and at Iowa.
Tough. Tough. It is tough.
They do get Michigan here.
But Ohio State never goes anywhere where they have to go in afraid that they don't have enough personnel to play with. And that's the great thing about this kind of coaching job.
Second down 2. Wagner giving off to Spencer, and Spencer has the first down. Spencer advancing to the 47-yard line. Dan Boosie made the stop. You know, the Big Ten's hard to figure out. We got Michigan State losing to Rutgers and Hawaii beating Iowa.
Hey, when you're not mentally ready to play or you overlook anybody, regardless of what league you're in, you're going to get beat. Would you like to be in East Lansing on the practice field all week this week?
George Perlis.
Perlis? You know how intense he is and tough.
You know, the coach at Rutgers, Dick Anderson, used to be such a fine assistant for Joe Paterno.
Oh, he's a fine coach, too. He used to come to our training camp from time to time and spend some time, and we always enjoyed having him there.
47-yard line, Bryant again, and he got a yard, and that's about all. That's, again, Bavaro and LeBaron over there on the stop.
James Bryant, like you said, was Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I drive through that area once in a while on my way up to my hunting cabin up in Central State, and he went to Bishop McDivitt High School, played for Jim Rimple there.
You going to take me hunting one of these days with him?
Sure, you're the guy that has all the good hunting.
Well, I like to hunt. I'm not as good as you are, though. From the 46-yard line now, second down and 8 yards to go. Olive comes to the near side, Mark Hicks to the far side. So John Wagner getting some valuable training right now, some playing time for Ohio State due to Fry's performance that gave him this lead. Here is Bryant struggling for maybe 2 yards to the 44-yard line. So John Cooper, who came in here with a record of 82-40-2 in 11 years, and there he is. They're going to carry him on with 6 seconds as the new era has begun. And this guy, John Cooper, has made a statement.
Here the fans are going, Coop, Coop, Coop.
It's going to be a love affair.
Yeah, you bet it will be.
He is so good with the media. He's so good with his players. He's been a winner everywhere he's been, and right now he said our goal is to win the Big Ten, the Rose Bowl, and the national championship. It'll come.